the stump of childhood dreams. After 172 regular season and postseason games, it all comes down to one winner-take-all matchup at Tropicana Field. And this American League Championship Series coverage on TBS presented by Kia Motors. It's Game 7 between the Boston Red Sox and the Tampa Bay Rays. And hello again, everybody, with Ron Darling, Buck Martinez, Chip Carey, a battle of experience and exuberance in Game 7 tonight. And Buck Martinez, we know all about this Boston dream season they have put together. It's been an improbable march, and they're one win away from an improbable berth in another World Series.
Well, they sure are, Chip. And once they win a World Championship, you get addicted to the taste of being that great World Champion. This team was down to their last 7 outs when their mightiest of might stepped to the plate. The best 2-strike hitter in baseball, Dustin Pedroia, delivers the first RBI. In a 4-run 7th inning, the comeback was on. David Ortiz, his first home run in 62 postseason at-bats. J.D. Drew capped it off in the 9th inning with a game winner. That sent the series back to Florida. Kevin Youkilis' home run erased an early deficit. And the biggest hit of all, Jason Varitek's first hit in the series, a home run to give the Red Sox a lead. Justin Pedroia and Kevin Youkilis last year in Game 7 against Cleveland, they went 6 for 10 and drove in 7 runs. They're the key to this game tonight.
So we know what the Red Sox offense can do potentially in Game 7, Ron Darling. But how about the Rays? They led this series 3-1, had a stranglehold on the Red Sox in Game 5. Now it's 3-all. But this Rays ball club, they've been knocked down and counted out all year long. Can they make a dream trip to the World Series?
Well, think about it. They won 97 games this year. That's not a fluke. And they don't have a fluke today pitching for them. Matt Garza, he's been outstanding. He beat John Lester in the 3rd game when he only allowed 1 earned run in 6 innings pitched. And you see he has pitched really well here at Trop Field. And the thing about it, though, really for this team, that they're going to have to continue to hit. Only scored 2 runs yesterday, but their big hitters, B.J. Upton and Evan Longoria, are going to continue to have to provide that power. Both have 4 home runs each in this ALCS. They've scored 24 runs via the home run. They're going to continue to need those big hits tonight if they're going to dethrone the Boston Red Sox. 2 remarkable clubs trying to cap a remarkable season with a berth in the World Series, and one team's World Series dream becomes reality tonight. It's Game 7 of the ALCS coming up from St. Petersburg in just a moment.
By Kia Motors. To learn more, visit kia.com. And brought to you in part by John Hancock. The future is yours. By DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you've got to get DirecTV. And by Captain Morgan Original Spiced Rum. Drink responsibly. Captain's orders.
I have nothing.
We are back at Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida. A beautiful night outside, 75 degrees, 72 degrees here inside the Dome for Game 7 of this American League Championship Series. And our TBS MLB postseason coverage brought to you in HD by DirecTV, delivering the most sports in HD. The Rays take the field to thunderous applause, and here's the Kia Motors starting lineup for the Boston Red Sox. Coco Crisp has had a very hot run, again leads off in center field. Dustin Pedroia, the second baseman, will hit second. David Ortiz appears to be back. He's the DH. He'll hit third. Kevin Youkilis, making a bid to be MVP of this series for the Red Sox, is the cleanup man. J.D. Drew in right field will bat fifth. Jason Bay is in left, hitting sixth. Mark Kotsay will bat seventh over at first base. One of last night's hitting heroes for the Red Sox, Jason Varitek, catches and hits eighth. And Alex Cora gets the start tonight at shortstop, and he will hit in the number 9 spot.
One of the heroes for the Tampa Bay Rays in Fenway Park in that 3rd game was Matt Garza, who beat John Lester, only gave up a run in 6 innings with 5 strikeouts. One of the keys for Garza, though, when he is on this year, 2 shutouts, 3 complete games. Those shutouts, a 1-hit shutout and a 2-hit shutout. shutdown games, he has those games where he can go completely, manage his emotions. He sometimes can get hot out there on the mound, and careful early. The Red Sox like to, in these Game 7s, bury you early. He's got to be better than that.
So Chris Pedroia and Big Papi are coming up in the very first inning tonight. And the Boston Red Sox continuing their unbelievable history, 9-0 in their last 9 ALCS elimination games. And let's check in with the fourth member of our broadcast crew tonight, our colleague Craig Sager.
Well, after batting practice and just prior to taking the field, Carlos Pena addresses the Bay teammates. He said, don't worry about beating Boston. Let's play our game, go out, and have fun. We're better than they were in the regular season. We have the best home record in baseball. No matter what happens tonight, it's been an amazing year. Let's enjoy it. Joe Madden, sensing a tense clubhouse, thought the message to be best delivered through the players themselves, and Pena had his blessing. Yep.
All right, Craig, what's the old saying? Speak softly, carry a big stick.
Yeah, it's all about playing baseball tonight. Don't get worried about the hype of a Game 7. Go out, throw the ball over, catch it, and have good at-bats.
And that's what Coco Crisp has been having in this series for Boston. He's 5 for his last 8, has supplanted Jacoby Ellsbury in the leadoff spot, and he's set to face Garza with tonight's first pitch in St. Pete. And a ball taken high, 1 ball, no strikes.
One thing Boston knows about Matt Garza is he does not field his position well. He doesn't throw well to the bases, and that's why Crisp was showing bunt. He's committed 5 errors this season. Terry Francona is well aware of that. They're going to try to put the pressure on Garza to field his position.
That caught the corner, evens the count.
I was watching Garza before the game. He had his iPod in, listening to his tunes. Well, now he's trying to tune out the crowd and get really into that strike zone as he has those earplugs in to try to tune out this real loud Tampa Bay crowd.
He tried that in Chicago against the White Sox, and it didn't work. He gave up a free spot in the game and then pulled the earplugs out mid-inning.
There's the bunt. Back to the mound. Garza's got it. Fires a fastball to get Crisp.
Well, you can see the determination in that throw. He said, you know what, I'll show you I can field my position. First opportunity, he throws a strike. Coco Crisp bunted for a base hit last night in his first at bat. This time right towards the mound. And watch how deliberate Garza is. And he throws a bullet to Pena first out of the game.
The key for Garza is that the only way he can throw the bases is he almost winds up like he's throwing to home. If he has to make that crow hop and the little side slinger throw, no shot.
So the leadoff man retired for the Red Sox. Here's Pedroia. Big swing and a 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
We mentioned Pedroia and Euclid last year in Game 7 in the ALCS. They went 6 for 10, drove in 7 runs, hit 2 home runs, and scored 5 runs. They were a 2-man wrecking crew.
Pedroia talked so confidently before Game 1 in Boston, with things looking so bleak for the Red Sox, saying I've got 12 or 13 at-bats left against these guys before this series is over. His wish will come true tonight. He's 1 for his last 9 in the series, and drives that one deep into the left field corner. Crawford on the run. That ball is gone. A home run, and the Red Sox lead.
Pretty interesting when your game plan is to shut down the littlest guy on the field. But that's what they have to do if they're going to win this game. And Dustin Pedroia gets the Red Sox off and running with a bullet into the seats.
His 3rd home run of this ALCS, and Boston leads by a run in the first. Here's Big Papi. David Ortiz. Down a strike. How big is an early run?
Well, it's huge. It's huge if you're a starting pitcher, John Lester. You can go out there, you have a little room to work with, but it also sends a message to this Tampa Bay team. that, hey, the Red Sox were here. This is 7th game. We own 7th games. To me, it looked like he was trying to come inside, but it either was a changeup or he did not get a lot on that fastball inside as Pedroia was able to hook that down the line.
And there's that dynamic duo, Pedroia and Youkilis, celebrating a first-inning lead in Game 7. Ortiz in Game 6. A double, an RBI single, and an intentional walk in 5 plate appearances. But what got him going, perhaps, was a triple in Game 4 of the 7th inning. Ortiz, up to that at bat, had been 0 for 12 in this series. Since then, he's tripled, he's homered, and he's driven in 4 runs.
Well, a home run, obviously, part of that 4-run 7th inning in Game 5 to fuel the comeback. But Matt Garza, he is tough. Joe Madden knows that he's the type of guy that can overcome early problems.
Well, you know, as a starting pitcher, you just tell yourself, well, you know, okay, hit home run. Great for him. Great for the Red Sox. Only 1 run. You know, no big deal. Shake it off. Here we go. We'll start anew. Can't let that, you know, that kind of stuff affect you.
Full count.
Boy, he is throwing so hard that it makes it, that's defense very vulnerable. Anything on the outside part of the plate, hard for me to believe that Ortiz is going to be able to pull it.
Ball 4 high. A homer and a walk back-to-back sets it up for Kevin Youkilis. And speaking of that defense, here it is for Tampa Bay's Rays.
Well, the Rays got off to a great start. They played 7 straight airless games in the postseason. Great speed in the outfield. Crawford, Upton, and Baldelli. Longoria and Bartlett on the left side. Iwamura and Pena on the right side. And the development of the catcher, Deoner Navarro, behind the plate has been dramatic. He has really taken the leadership role behind the plate for this ball club, and he feels the responsibility of getting Matt Garza through this game.
So Garza will go to the stretch for the first time with Kevin Youkilis up. Youkilis has 10 hits in this LCS. Hello, 1 ball, no strikes.
That never hurts, even if it's unintentional. The comfort level has been talked about as far as the Rays hitters being comfortable the entire series, and right now Youkilis isn't sure where Garza is coming from with this pitch, but it certainly makes him a little uncomfortable at the plate.
That went into and out of the Boston dugout.
You don't think there's a little adrenaline in these dugouts right now? Youkilis hit that 96-mile-an-hour fastball into the Red Sox dugout.
Youkilis just 1 for 15 against Garza, but throw that out the window. Think about how poorly he worked against James Shields. And Youkilis homered against him in the 2nd inning of Game 6 last night. And another ball pulled foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
This 1-2 punch pretty dynamic in the postseason. This is the ALCS numbers. Pedroia 360, Youkilis 370. They've hit 5 home runs together and driven in a total of 11 runs.
Fly ball, right field line. Baldelli on the run. Basket catch. Ortiz has to chug back to first. Oh, tough play in right for Baldelli with that ball slicing toward the line.
Well, you've got 3 center fielders in the outfield here with Tampa Bay. They can cover a lot of ground. And this ball was slicing away from Baldelli all the way off the bat of Youkilis. Watch the slice as Baldelli has to make the catch just inside the foul line on the warning track. Great stride, lots of coverage. He eats up a lot of ground with those long strides.
So 2 are out for J.D. Drew. Drew 6 for 21 in the series. Drew singled, walked, and doubled in Game 6. And 2 for 8 against Garza with a home run in his career. 1-0 Red Sox on a Pedroia 1-out homer.
Very interesting to watch Garza work early, almost all primarily fastballs. He's trying to make sure that he rushes these Boston Red Sox hitters in to get them off the plate. Definite game plan by Joe Madden and Jim Hickey.
Garza, power pitcher, you figure he's going to have a high pitch count in this game, but is that something about which the Rays have to be concerned in this Game 7 tonight?
Not an issue at all. All bets are off right here. You go with him as long as he's effective, and you don't really concern yourself until you see signs of fatigue, and that's going to be a while before you see that with Garza.
1 ball, 1 strike. Ortiz not held at first with 2 out. And breaking ball of beauty has Drew behind now, 1-2.
You don't win this game, Chip, you got 150 days rest. Good breaking ball. First one of the night here for Garza.
Check swing, he went around. Navarro will make the peg to first, and Garza allows the Pedroia homer, and that is all in the top half of the first inning. 1-0 Boston. John Lester to the mound.
Perfect. My back went out
after the post.
Baldelli hitting 8th, and Jason Bartlett 9th against Boston left-hander John Lester. And Lester pumps over a quick strike called 0-1.
Both leadoff hitters for each team faking the bunt. John Lester, what a season he had this year, 16-6. Struggled in his start in the postseason against these Rays, giving up 5 runs. Youngest Sox hurler, 3rd youngest Sox hurler to appear in a postseason Game 7.
Big breaking ball, 0-2.
Well, that scouting report on John Lester. Extra days rest should help him. He's pitched 230 innings this year. Cut fastball was the key for him. He's got to get that inside. And Game 7, remember, he pitched the Game 7 against the Colorado Rockies last year when the Boston Red Sox won their World Championship.
That's tipped into and out of the glove of Jason Varitek.
That's why I think I said Game 7. The deciding game, Game 4, of course.
Lester was defeated by these Rays in that 9-1 game at Fenway Park in Game 3. And what gives Boston such great hope, he has never lost consecutive starts in his major league career. And he leads tonight by a run and just missed high to Iwamura. Again fouled at the plate.
It's going to be interesting to watch Jason Varitek as he tries to really figure out this Rays lineup. Last time he faced him in Fenway Park, they hit him and hit him hard because he didn't get the ball inside to right-handers. Early on in this at bat to Iwamura, he's gotten the curveball into the mix, and that should help Lester get through his delivery early on, not just standing out there firing fastballs for effect.
Ground ball hit toward Pedroia, gives ground, and Lester retires the Rays leadoff man. Well, you talk about defense meaning big things in postseason play. How about Boston's defense in this 2008 playoff run?
9 straight airless games. Bay, Crisp, and Drew in the outfield. Youkilis has been remarkable at third base. Cora gets a start tonight at short. Pedroia and Kotze on the right side, and the Gold Glove captain behind the plate, Jason Varitek. At 9 straight airless games is one shy of the Cardinals record of 10 straight. That came in 2004.
So here's B.J. Upton, one of the offensive stars for Tampa Bay in this postseason. 7 home runs in his last 30 at-bats. To put that in perspective, he hit 9 home runs in the regular season in over 500 at-bats. So he has gotten hot at a most opportune time for Joe Maddon's ball club.
Looks to me like they've changed their approach on Upton. They're going to try to get him out away and not even mess with the inside part of the plate tonight. Save it for a pivotal pitch.
That up and away for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike.
And 2 curveballs in a row. So maybe going a little soft and avoiding that fastball inside.
Well, what you're trying to do is lull him to sleep with that breaking ball and pop the fastball inside. Still going with the breaking ball.
And it's yanked foul to even the count.
That was a good one there. If you watch the 2 curveballs before then, they're kind of slow breaking to get them over. That one's a little harder. Almost looked like a fastball coming out of his hand.
But now he's seen 3 in a row, and certainly Upton has to be wary of that breaking pitch, and that might make him just slow enough to beat him inside. If you feel lucky enough to take a shot, he's been hot in there.
Upton's been a very patient hitter too. 97 walks in the regular season, and he works a full count now.
Well, that was pretty interesting. They were trying to go inside, and he missed out over the plate again.
B.J. Upton chasing some history in this Game 7 tonight.
Barry Bonds in 2002 with 8, tied by Carlos Beltran in 04 for the Astros, and then Upton and Troy Glaus both with 7.
Swing and a rocket hit to right. Drew retreats. Track. Wall. Just enough room. Upton hit it hard, but he's a second out.
Interesting approach, though. Instead of coming in, he got the ball down and away where Beckett was trying to go last night. Keep him to the big part of the park, make him go to right field. Yes, he has great power, just not enough, as Drew's able to catch up to that fly ball.
Well, B.J. Upton has been so good on the inner half and up, and I think they've changed their approach, and we're going to keep an eye on that as this game develops.
That brings up Carlos Pena. He had a home run cut, and Lester's a man that he has liked facing. 6 career hits, 2 home runs in 19 at-bats, and 3 home runs in this postseason. Rays have done some early scoring themselves in this series. They have scored 8 first-inning runs against Boston. They're down to their last out in this opening frame.
Now they have hit homers in the first inning of the last 3 games. That's a fast start, no matter who you are. Pena and Longoria hit first inning home runs in Game 4.
A little tougher inning for John Lester this inning. You see the Rays' first inning runs. 8 first inning runs this series. That's the second to the Yankees in '98. John Lester having a little more difficult time than the first start. Remember, only 4 pitches in that first start in Fenway Park, here up to 14.
Right on by Pena. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I don't know about you, Buck, but his stuff is much crisper than it was in Fenway Park this early in the game.
There's a little finish to it, and by that it means you just got late movement into the strike zone. Even the breaking ball you commented on was much sharper to Upton. There's the computer working again.
1 ball, 2 strikes, and Pena rolls it out of play to stay alive. MLB postseason en Espanol. Live MLB postseason Spanish language feed is available via SAP. Missed with a breaking ball to even the count.
One thing I like about the Rays approach in this first inning, even though they're down by a run, they're patient. They're having a pretty good look at John Lester. Carl Crawford behind the skipper, taking a good eye at the Red Sox left-hander just to get a sense for what he's featuring here in this first inning.
This is the ballpark, too, for Lester, where things have not gone particularly well. 2 career games, 9 earned runs, 12 innings.
Well, he's a different pitcher this year, and it really started in May when he started pitching to the outside part of the plate to right-handed hitters. He's been a pitcher throughout his career that owns the inside part of the plate to right-handers, the outside corner to left-handers. He can throw a strike to that corner in his sleep.
And he takes care of Pena with a sweeping breaking ball. 3 up, 3 down. Red Sox by 1 after 1 in Game 7.
The company that's brought America stylishly affordable vehicles has now made it even easier. Now you can get $5,000 cash back on the Kia Sedona minivan and the Kia Sorento midsize SUV. Both come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty and a 5-star crash safety rating. That's 2 incredible vehicles, one in...
Off the bat of Jason Varitek had to leave last night's game before the 4th inning. Tim McClellan came in umpired behind the plate the final 6 innings last night. And Darrell Cousins unable to continue in this Game 7. So Hernandez, a replacement umpire for this particular game. And we understand Darrell is resting comfortably at home and should be okay.
Yeah, this happened with the Varitek foul tip. You can see how exposed the umpire is. This goes off the glove, off the mask, and hits him directly on the right collarbone, and he would have to leave that game. And Tim McClellan then took over behind the plate, but we wish Darrell Cousins well.
2 strikes to Jason Bay and 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, the thing that Garza has to battle against is that if you're a young pitcher in postseason, the second inning you come out, the adrenaline's gone, your legs feel like they weigh 50 pounds each as you're trying to get these hitters out.
Two and 2 to Jason Bay. Boy, he has been a big RBI man this postseason for the Red Sox. And as this game progresses, should he come up in 2-out situations, that's where he's been very, very effective for Boston. They got a 1-out run tonight. The Pedroia homer down the left field line to start tonight's scoring.
Already taking the earplugs out.
Check swing. Bay is retired. Second strikeout for Garza, 1 away.
Well, he's one of these pitchers that up in the strike zone, his ball has lots of life. Ball on the outside part of the plate, and that ball takes off, beats Bay to the spot.
And not many pitchers in the American League that can pitch with their fastball, but Garza's one of them. He's got 2 fastballs, that high 4-seamer that rides well above the strike zone, and a very good moving fastball, a 2-seam moving fastball that'll be 94 miles an hour.
Mark Kotsay takes a strike. Kotsay's had a very solid ALCS defensively, and he's hit the ball hard numerous times. 7 hits. And he's trying to wear out that left center field gap in this series. And Upton has robbed him a couple of times. And that one up the middle. Bartlett behind the bag. Off balance throw and a beauty.
Well, the defense got out to such a great start in this postseason. They had 7 straight airless games, played 65 innings without committing an error, and then made 5 in the last 25 2/3. Bartlett made an error in Game 6, but this time ranging behind second base makes an outstanding play to take a hit away from Mark Kotsay.
Yeah, he was shading Kotsay up that middle, gave him a good jump on the ball and able to throw that ball off balance.
The one term that Terry Francona used after Game 5 in Boston was that Fenway Park came unglued. I think it's safe to say, guys, the Red Sox dugout came unglued after Varitek homered here in Game 6 last night. That blast, the first hit for the Boston captain in this ALCS.
His 11th postseason home run, but to a man, when we mentioned Varitek's hit in the clubhouse, every teammate lit up.
And a high pop fly foul is out of play.
Oh, James Shields with the 2-0 pitch challenges Varitek, who hadn't a hit, and this big home run to right center field to put the Boston Red Sox ahead by 1 run. The one thing you talked about them lighting up, they know how much struggles he was going through, and they knew he wasn't hitting, but they know how much he gives to the team defensively and how much it pains him not to be an offensive threat.
1 ball, 1 strike. But Varitek also said, I can go 0 for 2,000 yet impact the game with every pitch that's thrown when I'm behind the plate.
Yeah, there are 2 positions on the field that you can have a positive impact without hitting: catcher and shortstop. The one thing that Varitek does so effectively is he separates his at-bat from his catching. And that's a hard thing to do. A lot of catchers will take their offers back behind the plate and really crowd their decision-making ability, thinking about a bad swing in the previous at-bat. Varitek never allows that to creep into his mindset.
And a positive contribution as he piles up the pitches with Garza. Full count now at 3-2. Alex Cora, the shortstop, would hit next. There are 2 outs, 1-0 Red Sox.
You don't see many captains in baseball in this day and age, and very rarely do you see a C on the jersey of a ball player because of the transient nature of baseball nowadays. So many guys moving around. You don't have that kind of longevity to establish that kind of leadership position. Varitek has earned it and has been the leader of this team since he's gotten here.
And the question is, will this be his final go-around with the Red Sox?
Well, that's going to be an interesting question for them. For people that aren't Boston Red Sox fans, you don't even know that he started in the Seattle organization, but he's considered, of course, a Red Sox.
Well, if you want to cut off an interview with Jason Varitek, all you have to do is ask him about his impending free agency. He will end the conversation right there. He won't even acknowledge it. He'll walk away. He's not concerned about what happens after the postseason. He wants another ring on his finger.
So his free agency has nothing to do with what they're trying to do here in postseason.
How nice is that perspective in this day and age of professional sports?
Refreshing.
And another 3-2 fouled down the left field line and into the seats. A terrific at bat continues for Jason Varitek.
Now, so much about hitting and playing baseball is about your mental state, and certainly one hit can get things turned around. We saw that with Evan Longoria in the first inning of Game 2. We saw it with David Ortiz in the 7th inning of Game 5. And maybe we're seeing it with Varitek now with his first hit, that go-ahead home run.
Pitch of the at-bat is a breaking ball, and it throws Varitek. And the Rays are coming up in the 2nd inning down a run with Evan Longoria to start things off in a 1-run game.
Introducing Taco Bell's new 89-cent Volcano Taco. With spicy lava sauce, it could be the spiciest taco ever.
Come eat my Volcano Taco. Don't look at me.
Visit SteelaBaseSteelaTaco.com. Think outside the bun.
As you can see, I've achieved the ISO motion. Watch the crossover. Damn, one more time in his face. IT summertime, baby. Oh, there you go, Derrick Rose. Oh, there we go. There we go. West Side.
Rated E for everyone.
West Side.
The legend was born in 1965 in the storied swamp of Florida, where the scorching heat took a brutal toll on the Gators.
The players weren't adequately hydrated and their performance suffered.
The answer, a new carbohydrate electrolyte beverage created by University of Florida doctors.
Naturally, we called our stuff Gatorade.
And when they won the '67 Orange Bowl, Gatorade had arrived. Born of humble origins, proven to this day. The legend continues.
What's this? The new BlackBerry? You've seen Blackberries before. It's no big deal. Maybe one quick peek, just to see what all the fuss is about. Whoa.
Take me out to Esurance. Take me to Savings Online. Auto insurance that's hassle-free. When you buy it, instantly let me quote. Buy with at Esurance. If you don't take it, it's a shame. For it's $100, $200, $300 you could save with the Esurance name.
Save time and money on your auto insurance at Esurance.
The heartburn-stopping strength of Zantac also comes with a refreshing cool mint sensation for strong, lasting relief. Heartburn? Attack it. Zantac.
They live in our minds, like unforgettable moments should. It's what October is all about.
We'll see you tomorrow night.
You gotta watch it, because there's always another jaw-dropping moment that happens each fall. There's only one postseason. There's only one fall classic. There's only one October.
It's 1-0 Boston. Home half of the second inning, and you can get exclusive camera angles, behind-the-scenes info, and more online with TBS Hot Corner. Check it out now at MLB.com/TBS Hot Corner. Evan Longoria leads things off for the Tampa Bay Rays. He's 6 for 24 in this ALCS. And has done most of his damage earlier on, as you pointed out last night.
Yeah, in his first couple at bats, you really have to bear down against Evan.
Well, I can see a distinctive change in the approach they're pitching to Upton and Longoria. Trying to get strikes to the outside corner with off-speed pitches. Veritek, you can bet, has had a conversation with the pitcher, the pitching coach, and the catching coach, Gary Tuck. So when you make a game plan change, everybody has to come together, but they've got to do something with Upton and Longoria. They've hit 8 home runs in 6 games.
And you might recall, it's been a roller coaster postseason for Longoria. Had an 0 for 13 stretch at one point, and Joe Madden encouraged him to take his walks. And he takes a high strike for a 3-1 count.
That ball was up and in, not a strike. Joe Madden not very happy with that call. Gets Lester back into the at-bat.
Ground ball to short. Cora gives ground. Long throw. Gets Longoria for the first out. 4 up, 4 down for Lester. Here's Carl Crawford. Crawford 10 for 26 in the series with 4 RBIs. Crawford, one of the stars of Game 4, with a 5-for-5 performance. That was in the game started by Tim Wakefield of the Red Sox. Crawford drove in 2, scored 3, and stole a base. He's 1 for 8 since that 5-hit outburst.
In our previous conversations with John Lester, he talked about the 3rd and 4th inning being the most pivotal innings for him, where he really gets into the flow of the game. He's tested all of his pitches, and now he has a feel for where he can go with each of those pitches.
It really works like that a lot. A lot of times you will go through where you know is you have a curveball you can use to get over for a strike, or you can use it to get a strikeout.
And he's also been effective, guys, in limiting damage early in innings. He's retired the leadoff man in 18 of the 22 innings he has pitched so far in this postseason. And the running game such an important part of the Rays' attack, the home runs of this series notwithstanding. And he gets Crawford to chase. Second strikeout. He's retired 5 in a row to start the game.
Well, breaking ball away, cutter away. What's he come back with? Fastball up and in. Well, up and away it ended up being. No chance for Crawford to catch up with that. He was more of a low ball hitter.
Jason Varitek loves to use the high fastball to finish at bats with his starters and especially with Jonathan Papelbon.
Willie Ibar, the batter, and Lester's already done something tonight that no Red Sox starter has been able to do in this series. He's retired the first 5 Rays in the game. And if he's a man that settles in 3 and 4 in these innings tonight, it might be a very good night for Lester and Boston. Low to Ibar, evens the count. Off his thumbs and hit to Euclid at third. 6 up, 6 down. Lester and the Red Sox lead Game 7 by a run.
So what do you want your iPhone to be today? With the MLB app from the App Store, it can be a score checker, live pitch updater, or a video highlight player. But any way you cut it, it's officially a game changer.
Turbo HD from Dish Network is the complete high-definition experience. Frank, imagine, if you will, me in 3 dimensions. No, not 3D, high-def, HD. Whatever. A picture so good, it's like I'm actually in your home. You could reach out and touch me. Go on, try to touch me. I'd rather not. How about a hug? No. This is awkward.
Get Turbo HD by Dish Network, the 100% HD service. Plus, get HBO and Stars free for 3 months.
Christina Herrera just got arrested again, this time stealing someone's identity. That makes 23 times. Politicians say they have the answer. Probation. Only Citizens Measure 61 has mandatory prison time. Vote yes on 61, vote no on 57. Only vote yes if it says mandatory.
There's good news at Beaverton Mitsubishi, where Joe always says yes. Check out the fun-to-drive Lancer, starting at $11,995. Get a sporty Eclipse at $6,000 off MSRP. The aggressive Raider is priced at $8,500 off. And the smart Mitsubishi Endeavor, $9,000 off MSRP. The most for your trade-in, the lowest payments, best financing, a 10-year factory warranty, and no payments till 2009. Smart shoppers know now's the time to buy at Beaverton Mitsubishi, where we offer financing to anyone at joesays.yes.com.
TBS presents a very funny festival with a very funny lineup. See Jerry Seinfeld, Dane Cook, Cheech and Chong, and many more live. The funniest names in comedy will be at the Comedy Festival November 20th through 22nd in Las Vegas. Get your tickets now at thecomedyfestival.com. Third inning already in Game 7, and Alex Cora starts things off against Matt Garza. Chad Lowry's gotten the bulk of the playing time for Boston at shortstop in this postseason, but Terry Francona likes Cora and his ability to handle fastballs.
Yeah, he will start him against guys that have the bigger fastballs and feels like he's got a better chance. Plus he's experienced. He's not going to get rattled in a game like this, and he is a manager on the field, if you will. Very alert, very heads up, really gets into the flow of the game and can help out Dustin Pedroia. Not that he needs much help.
At least not in this game. He scored the only run. And Cora shoots a ball to left. Crawford retreats. So 6 in a row after the homer and the walk have been retired by Matt Garza. And now back to the top of the Boston order, and Coco Crisp, who tried to punt his first time up.
Coco is getting a rude reception here because of the fight he had at Fenway Park when he charged James Shields. They had a little bit of a beanball war going, and Coco Crisp got hit by Shields in the first inning in a game in June and charged the mound.
Rays pinch at the corners, thinking about a punt, and Crisp down a quick strike. Against Kobe Ellsbury began the postseason as the Red Sox starting center fielder and swung the bat exceptionally well against the Angels. But since then has cooled considerably. No hits in his last 20 at-bats. And Crisp has gotten hot at a most opportune time. He's 8 for 16 now in this series. And he's buzzed into the count even.
Well, you know you have to have scouting reports on hitters and what their strengths and weaknesses are, but if you're going to throw at somebody, you better check into his background. Coco Crisp's father was a professional boxer in Los Angeles, and he handled himself pretty well, but boy, he got piled on once he got to the mound, and the rest of the Rays came to the defense of James Shields.
And that's fouled straight back. Here is the center field comparison for the Red Sox.
Quite a dramatic turnaround this year to last year. Coco Crisp was the starter last year at the beginning of the postseason. Ellsbury got hot. They flip-flopped, and the opposite has happened this year. Coco Crisp having a great postseason this season, and Ellsbury has struggled.
And Crisp stays alive here in the Boston third. Coco played 118 games this year for the Red Sox. Hit .283, 7 home runs, and stole 20 bases. And like so many of his Boston offensive mates, they really work the pitch count.
Well, and he's really swinging the bat well right now. You can see how confident he is and how quiet he is at the plate. He had a great at bat against Dan Wheeler in Game 5. Fouled off several pitches before he drove in the tying run in the bottom of the 8th inning. But he is very quiet, very confident. He's tracking the ball very well right now. See how he wiggles his fingers on his bat. When Garza took so much time, he had the tendency to tense up a little bit and ask for time.
We've seen that, though, from Matt Garza in Fenway Park. He takes a lot of time in between pitches.
Two down. 4 strikeouts for Garza.
Well, he's got it all working. This is his good curveball straight over the top. Hard, down and in to Coco Crisp.
So the base is clear for Caballito, the little horse, Dustin Pedroia, who galloped around the bases with a solo home run in his first at bat of the night. Strike one.
Another high fastball, and Pedroia can hit anybody's fastball. I don't care where it is or how hard it is, and that's up around his neck, and he jumps on top of it. He hit 2 here in game 2, and he is just a guy that believes he can hit anybody, and you can't tell him otherwise.
5'9", 180 pounds. And that latter number might be optimistic.
Now, here's a guy to give you an idea how beautiful baseball is. Dustin Pedroia was not drafted out of high school. 30 teams didn't think he could play in the major leagues at that point, and he might win an MVP award this year.
326 average, 213 hits, and scored 118 times for Boston.
It's a very unique hitting style, doesn't he? Kind of just that body just kind of springs towards the ball, but he keeps his head pretty level, keeps the bat very level.
And I tell you one thing, he's had a million coaches tell him he can't hit like that. You got to cut your swing down and just hit the ball to right. He had 17 home runs with a big swing. And he loves hitting against the top 10 pitchers in baseball. Again, the American League top 10 in wins, he's hit .333. Top 10 in ERA, .310. Top 10 in strikeouts, .316. The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
And he got popped. Garza hits Pedroia. And with 2 strikes, he won't even rub the spot. He stands at first with David Ortiz coming up.
He won't give the pitcher the satisfaction of acknowledging that it hurts.
Well, we've definitely seen this has been a game plan by Garza so far. He is going to pitch inside, hits him right on the outside of the elbow. Once that ball starts running in, it starts to track you. You have no chance. In the old days, when you hit a hitter like that, if there's a ground ball and a play up the middle, you're going to see a hard slide into second base.
Well, he can play old-fashioned baseball, too.
Yeah.
Red Sox bench seemed to question Garza when he buzzed Euclid in the first inning. Now Ortiz up and down a strike.
It might have been a decent move early in this series when Ortiz was struggling. Not too good of a move now, because a couple of hits last night, that big 3-run home run 2 games ago. Sometimes it can take just one at bat to get it clicked in for David.
Iwamura playing in short right with the shift on. Longoria up the middle as the Rays third baseman. And Ortiz looks high as we've reached the 9 o'clock hour here in the East. It's Game 7 of the American League Championship Series. Buck Martinez, Ron Darling, Craig Sager, Chip Carey with you from St. Petersburg, Florida, where a Dustin Pedroia first inning homer has the Red Sox leading this game. David didn't like it.
Well, he'll turn around and question the umpire, Brian Gorman, but it looks like he got a piece of the quarter down and away.
That's that 2-seamer. Lots of movement late by Garza.
Earlier in this series, Terry Francona said of Ortiz he was caught in the middle at the plate. Late on fastballs, early on off-speed stuff. Let's see what he does with a 1-2 count. Runner goes, pitch low, and Pedroia slides in hard and safely at second base.
Well, Navarro's a very good thrower, but he couldn't come up with the baseball. And take a look at the defense here. Longoria is going to third base. The shortstop will cover the bag on that unusual coverage because they're playing the shift. So when you have a base stealer running with Ortiz at the plate, You send the shortstop from that right side of second to cover the bag, and the third baseman who's behind second has to head to third to protect against Pedroia going from second to third.
Only problem you have there is that you leave that whole right side open for David Ortiz on a breaking ball down and in, but really the only play you can make.
Well, with 2 strikes, 2 outs, you just as soon try to throw him out and get out of the inning.
Struck him out with high heat. We head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Rays looking for their first base runner in tonight's Game 7. Leonardo Navarro, Rocco Baldelli, Jason Bartlett coming up against John Lester. And gentlemen, this is usually where, if Lester's going to settle in, he does so. But he set down 6 consecutive men to start the game.
First time that's happened in this series, where a pitcher has retired the first 6 batters of the game.
Navarro 4 for 23 in the series. And the Rays wondering where their offense is going since blowing that 7-0 lead at Fenway Park. Collectively, they have 5 hits in their last 41 at-bats.
Well, since that 7th inning of Game 5, they've been outscored 12-2.
And Lester, one of the game's elite left-handers, has an early lead. Way high, ball 2, 2 balls and a strike.
Well, if you want to watch a windup that you'd want to teach a young person, it's John Lester's. He's got a nice athletic stance on top of the mound. Very easy. Not a lot of moving parts as he approaches throwing to the plate. Repeats his windup almost every single time and throws the ball out in front of his body. Just picture perfect.
At the knees, 2-2.
He's beating him inside so far today. Something he could not do at Fenway Park.
Well, I think it's because he put the outside corner in their mind early, and then they've kind of shifted gears on him. And now if he goes in there occasionally, it can be effective. Coming in there again.
And it's popped up. Back behind the plate. Veritek near the screen has run out of room.
Jason Veritek is the one that encouraged John Lester to throw to the outer half of the plate, to the arm side of the plate, where he can command the ball to the outer half. He's always been good inside with a cut fastball and a 4-seamer. But Veritek said if you're going to take it to the next level, you have to put both sides of the plate in the hitter's mind. That's when you become the most difficult to hit.
Just missed. And the count fills up at 3-2.
Well, so far, they're trying to entreat the home plate umpire, Brian Gorman, that I want to throw this backdoor curveball. Stay with it for me. Gorman sees that it's just outside, kind of bending around the plate.
Seven up, 7 down. 3rd strikeout for Lester.
He's in that mindset now where he can do just about anything he wants to.
Yeah, he's got both sides of the plate. Everything's thrown for strikes. And I think, I don't know if you've seen this, Buck, or you, Chip, it seems like when the hitters, since that 5th game for the Tampa Bay team, their swings have gotten a little big over the last couple of games. Almost like they're trying to do a little too much. Put the ball in play and try to get some consecutive hits, although very difficult against a tough Lester.
They've only hit 1 ball out of the infield so far in this game. That was by Upton, who chased J.D. Drew to the warning track. And Rocco Baldelli is the hitter, trying to reach and represents the game-tying run. And that's called a strike. One of the more inspirational stories in baseball. You can talk about Josh Hamilton, certainly with the Texas Rangers. Same can be said of Rocco Baldelli sidelined with that mitochondrial disorder, one that nearly cost him his career. It's a disorder that took them a long time to try to diagnose, and a long time for Baldelli and the Rays to figure out a playing regimen that allows him to be successful in short bursts with the extreme fatigue that disorder causes.
Yeah, he just can't work out over an extended period of time. He didn't play with this team till August 26th this year.
And Lester strikes him out. Right now he's a pitching machine. 8 up, 8 down, and 4 strikeouts in the game.
Well, if the Rays are going to hit him, they're going to have to hit good pitches because he's not throwing any bad ones right now, and this is a great fastball.
Well, he threw fastball in, curveball away, fastball away. Go sit down.
Tell you what, when you're catching a guy like this right now, you feel like a catching genius. Oh, I can do anything I want. I'm going to try this one over here, and with a couple of these in there, a little curveball on the outside.
And now Bartlett, the hitter. Jason's been a tough man for Lester to solve, but not this time. First pitch popped to Pedroia. Inning over. 9 up, 9 down, and John Lester with a 1-0 lead through 3.
You to put your confidence in one man. Make Peter Griffin your choice with Family Guy.
Vote for Peter Griffin.
Tomorrow at 8, 7 Central on TBS.
Middle of the order for the Red Sox in the 4th inning. Kevin Youkilis, J.D. Drew, Jason Bay are coming up. Matt Garza retired that trio. First time around for the Rays. Just 1 hit in this game tonight. And that hit a Pedroia homer. Youkilis flied out his first time up. Baldelli made a long running catch near the line for the second out in the game's opening inning. Youkilis carries a 3-game hit streak in this series into tonight's Game 7. His success continues in the American League Championship Series.
Now Garza and Navarro bringing the breaking ball into the mix.
It's very interesting. Garza pitches on a lot of emotion, and I think that his last start against Lester got all the attention, little chip on his shoulder, and I think he's carrying one tonight. Everyone here, or the papers, if you read them, were assuming that the Red Sox would have to win this game. I think he's carrying that chip to try to stop that from happening.
Well, he's carrying more than a chip on his shoulder. His whole team is on his shoulders tonight.
And that emotion for Garza at times, as we alluded earlier, has been a double-edged sword for him.
Early in the season, it was misdirected. Second half of the season, he's been tremendous.
Youkilis battles back to even the count at 2-2. And hits a shot toward Longoria at third. Throws on the run, scooped up nicely for out number 1. Risky play, but Pena made it. 1 man down as Joe Madden, the Tampa Bay skipper, knows these Red Sox well, knows tonight's game should be a battle.
It is. We see enough of these guys between spring training, regular season, etc. now this time of the year. But although I'll take it this time of the year, it's both guys are throwing the ball extremely well right now.
Joe, what are your hitters' reactions as they come back from facing John Lester? Obviously, you got 2 of them in Game 3 at Fenway Park. How different is he tonight in your mind?
I don't know. I just it looks a little bit sharper overall. He's mixing his pitches maybe a little bit more often. I don't know if the strike zone's liberal in his favor at this point. It's hard to tell from over here. But overall, I just say that primarily what I'm seeing is a little bit more of a mix as opposed to just fastball. And furthermore, I think he's throwing his breaking ball for a strike today. I'm more consistent.
Your guy, Matt Garza, is off to a great start himself. How does he look in your mind?
Real good. I mean, for where we're at right here, if the ball is really finishing well, it's very crispy at the end. He's got that really good live fastball. Made one mistake on a changeup to Detroit at this point.
So J.D. Drew, the hitter, ahead in the count 1-0. And talking to Garza at the start of this series, Ron, he mentioned that after that confrontation with Deoner Navarro on June 8th, it taught him not to throw angry pitches. As a pitcher, what does he mean by that?
Well, I think that you can't misdirect all that emotion that you have out there.
As Drew pops up to the right side. Turning her out.
You're going to have emotion. You've got to use it that it works for him. What he was doing is getting mad at himself, which made some of his teammates felt like he was getting mad at them. And once that happens, you lose your team. So once he directed it in a better way, and he's done it by really concentrating on each and every pitch, and I think that's why he's had a lot better season after that brush up in Texas. ZRA through June 8th was 4.38, 1 run less almost, over that 1 run less, 3.37 since then.
Base is clear. 2 outs now for Jason Bay, who tried to check the swing but struck out leading off the second inning. And a roller foul is out of play. And not only has the impact of Navarro helped Garza, but Troy Percival played a very big role on this staff too. Percival is hurt, not on this ALCS roster, nor in that Tampa Bay bullpen. But Percival was expected to come back for tonight's Game 7 here in St. Pete.
Yeah, he's a veteran influence not only for the relievers but for the entire pitching staff, and he's had a positive impact on just about everybody here on this roster.
Ball 1, strike 1. Percival saved 28 games in 50 appearances for the Rays this year. But had some back and hamstring and knee problems that did not allow him to pitch in this series, but he could be active for the World Series if the Rays can win tonight. They've got plenty of cowbell. Now they need some runs.
Booyah. Yes.
The easy-to-use Nikon D60 lets anyone capture a moving moment. With an interchangeable Nikkor lens for the sharp, rich images that make a Nikon a Nikon.
Got the shot. Very good.
The ultra-compact Nikon D60. And check out the highly awarded Nikon D300.
What do you want as your reward? I want to take all my ladies out to a really nice dinner. Hey! My daddy's gonna sit right between them.
Hello, hello. Chase Freedom introduces rewards points you can use like cash to get anything you want.
I want a new house. For Rufus. Oh, Rufus, what kind of house would suit you?
With the Chase Freedom credit card, use your points to get any item, any place. Freedom matters. Chase what matters.
Have you always wanted to travel like James Bond? Well, without dodging bullets, being attacked, chased by assassins, and just generally escaping death? Then visit Orbitz.com for your chance to win one of 7 great Bond adventures, like a VIP experience, a luxury vacation in London, or a South American adventure. Plus, save up to 50% off select hotels worldwide. Visit Orbitz.com today.
Steve, what are you wearing? I told you to wear a cowboy outfit.
I did.
Not those cowboys. Besides, why would you wear a football uniform for Buster's commercial?
It's football season, Buster.
So?
Nothing makes people hungrier for delicious and tender hand-rubbed, slow-smoked Texas-style barbecue than hard-hitting pigskin action.
Pigskin action?
Buster's baby back spare ribs, pulled pork, and links.
That does sound good. Tell them where to go.
Buster's Barbecue.
In TV, it's called Jumping the Shark, a bad show hanging on too long.
In Salem, Linda Flores has been swimming with the sharks for years.
Flores takes donations from payday loan sharks, then votes to protect their 500% interest rates.
Flores gets cash from health insurers, then opposes public hearings for predatory premium increases.
This year, we're not taking the bait.
It's time for Linda Flores to stop feeding us to the Sharks.
Brent Barton, a new voice, our voice.
You can catch all the action of the 2008 World Series starting October 22nd at 8 o'clock Eastern on Fox. There's only one October. Joe Buck, Tim McCarver, and our friends at Fox know that the Philadelphia Phillies are the National League's representative, and either the Tampa Bay Rays or the Boston Red Sox will meet them Wednesday night. Top of the order now, and Iwamura is buzzed inside and takes ball one. 9 up, 9 down for John Lester. With 4 strikeouts so far in the game. And a line drive is into left field. That's the first hit for the Rays in the last 7 innings of this ALCS. And now the Thunder is coming up for the Rays.
Fastball away, and he stays on it, not quite down enough to really make a good pitch to Iwamura. Trying to keep the ball away from him. They pitched him very well when they get the ball away, but that ball had too much of a plate.
Upton hit the ball hard his first time and took it the other way to J.D. Drew, who caught it on the track.
Just a show inside. I don't think they're going to try to get him out inside. I just think they want to put that in his mind. We saw early in this game breaking balls to the back door, sinking fastballs away.
Outfield very deep all around for Upton. And he takes strike one. Ronnie, how about the effect of having to go to the stretch for the first time now for Lester in the 4th inning of this game?
Well, I think that even though he's at such a young age, he's so polished at this point that he knows how to make that adjustment. Probably missed that fastball inside because it was the first pitch. But he also has to make sure he keeps his eye on Iwamura at first base. But don't divide it too much because Upton is such a threat.
Yank foul and out of play, 1 and 2.
Now, Joe Madden told us before the game his team is not a very good hit-and-run ball club because the hitters change their style too much at the plate. He would rather having them free swinging. If he chooses to, he will start the runner, but he won't ask the hitters to hit and run.
Run and hit is the way he described it. He said it is a subtle difference, and that's how Navarro was thrown out in Game 6 trying to steal last night. Short lead at first, and Upton bloops one foul and out of play down the first base side.
That pitch was in, but it was down. The pitches that Upton has hit out of the ballpark have been in and up above the belt.
What I've been really impressed in, and that's why he walked 97 times, his ability to foul off those really tough pitchers' pitches. That one right on the inside corner.
Upton, the 2nd overall pick in the 2002 draft by these Tampa Bay Rays. And he goes down on strikes. Down and in. Got him. And Lester has his 5th strikeout. 1 on, 1 away, 4th inning.
Well, he's got that good cutter today. Watch it inside, starts in the middle of the plate, and almost like a little slider down and in, just under the bat of Upton.
Yeah, the cutter is thrown like a football, basically. It's a spiral pitch. It moves along the plane of the bat, but it comes inside. And that's where Mariano Rivera made all of his money with that cut fastball. It moves about 6 to 8 inches, and it's a late movement that really can be effective.
Still making money.
Still making a lot of money.
Carlos Pena was one of the American League's best go-ahead RBI men this year. 7 of them for the Rays this season. He drove in 102 men. One swing could turn this game around. And he takes a called strike.
real leader of this team, spoke to the club before the game to tell them to enjoy this game. Had an amazing season. They should just don't worry about beating the Boston Red Sox. Just play the way they can play Tampa Bay Rays baseball. And he's done it all season long. 18 of his 31 home runs this year tied the game or put them ahead.
And if he could park one here, we'd have Bedlam in St. Pete. 1-0 Red Sox on a Pedroia homer. Iwamura still at first, but with one out. And a good stop by Varitek as the count evens.
Lots of defensive options here. Youkilis is at shortstop playing the shift. Alex Cora, the shortstop, straight away at second base on the right-hand side of the bag, and he's going to look at the pitches, and he's kind of wondering what kind of pitch that is.
Little number hit to the right side. Pedroia stumbles, throws to second, and got his man for the second out.
Well, you can't teach that play. That's pure instincts right there, because he had enough time in his mind to get the lead runner. What a heads-up play. He can see the base runner right in front of him and pivots to that backside, throws a strike to Youkilis, who was covering.
Good job by Youkilis, giving him a nice target on that outside part. Good job by Iwamura, who's sliding on the outside part, trying to be in the middle of that throw.
That's all about your preparation before the pitch is thrown, thinking if I get a ball in the base path, I can get Iwamura because I can tell where he is. He's right in front of me.
0 errors for the Red Sox in nearly 96 innings of late in this postseason. Here's Longoria. Runner at first now, Pena, but with 2 outs. Longoria has been in many ways the bellwether for this Tampa Bay ball club. When he drives in a run, they're 41-13, including the postseason. And he takes a strike. It's 0-1. It's different John Lester tonight than the one that we and the Rays saw in Game 3 in Boston. Both B.J. Upton and Evan Longoria homered in the 3rd inning of Game 3 against Lester.
It was the second at bat for Longoria against Lester. He had walked in the 2nd inning, so he had a pretty good feel what Lester was featuring. And that particular night, John Lester couldn't get the ball inside.
Well, it appears he's had a little trouble doing that in Game 7 this evening. That one too far in there, 2 balls and a strike.
Little different tension level in a Game 7, huh?
Yeah, not a lot of smiles, right?
Especially with a slim 1-0 lead. 2 balls and a strike, short lead, Pena at first.
Well, he's got that curveball working. When he does get behind a hitter, especially Upton or Longoria, he chose to go with the 2-1 curveball.
Well, I think it was Varitek's plan to get it into the mix early on. He used it in the 1st inning, so he knew that he might have to do something different with Lester tonight after the Rays hit him so hard in Game 3.
Deuce is wild, 2-2. Line down the right field line. Will it stay fair? It will. Pena around second, on his way to 3rd. They're going to wave it. Here comes the relay from Pedroia. Up the line, and not in time. We're tied.
Longoria's 8th RBI comes on a fastball off the plate away. The defense is playing him to pull. That's all he's done in this series. He hits it down into the corner. Watch the relay here. It's perfectly executed. Drew to Pedroia. Look how quickly Pedroia unloads. But it's up the line a bit, and Pena slides in, scoring all the way from first.
See that reaction by the Tampa Bay bench. Broke the ice.
Game tied at 1, and here's Crawford.
Here's Pena's slide. Bertik had to go up the line ever so slightly, and you can't catch up to a base runner that's sliding past you. It's impossible. You just don't have enough speed with your glove to catch up to that sliding base runner.
The Rays took a chance and have tied the game at 1. Now Crawford could put him in front with a hit. But he's down, no balls, 2 strikes. In the air, long run, left field line. Bay coming on. Euclid coming on. Sliding try. And it's out of play, foul.
If he can see it, he thinks he can catch it.
And that's the other remarkable story for the Red Sox, as he had to avoid the third base umpire, Tim McClellan. You lose Mike Lowell. Euclid goes from first to third and has played beautiful defensive baseball. Fought off a tough pitch, 0-2.
Lester's a tough opponent for Carl Crawford, given his command of that breaking ball. But Crawford's done a great job in this postseason, hitting with runners in scoring position. 462. It gets better as the situation gets more intense.
Fastball chased high and away, and Crawford's retired. But the Tampa Bay Rays, as they've done all year, have come back in this game. Carlos Pena scores the game-time run heading to the 5th.
It's the most heartwarming product placement movie of the year.
Rachel, you know what your problem is. You want everything. You want a husband, you want unlimited text, unlimited data, and unlimited calls.
Instinct.
Someone got an email.
Featuring lightning-fast internet, voice-cued GPS navigation, and starring the Simply Everything plan from Sprint.
Why wouldn't I want everything for just $99.99 a month? Maybe you're afraid to be in love.
The new Samsung Instinct, only on the Now Network.
I think I'm falling in love with a phone.
The company that's brought America stylishly affordable vehicles has now made it even easier. Now you can get $5,000 cash back on the Kia Sedona minivan and the Kia Sorento midsize SUV. Both come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty and a 5-star crash safety rating. That's 2 incredible vehicles, 1 incredible deal. With $5,000 cash back, how can you afford not to?
A great moment, but Frank wasn't in the picture. He was in the men's room, going again. Another moment, but Bob really needed to go. And when the guys snapped this one, Charlie was stuck in the men's room having trouble going. These male urinary symptoms could be due to BPH, also called an enlarged prostate. But for many guys, prescription Flomax reduces their urinary symptoms due to BPH in 1 week. Only your doctor can tell if you have BPH, not a more serious condition like prostate cancer. Avoid driving or hazardous tasks for 12 hours after your first dose or increase in dose, as a sudden drop in blood pressure may occur, rarely resulting in fainting. If considering cataract surgery, tell your eye surgeon you've taken Flomax. Common side effects are runny nose, dizziness, and decrease in semen. Get the picture? Take a moment to ask your doctor if Flomax is right for you. And call 877-4FLOMAX for a free 1-week trial. For many men, Flomax can make a difference in 1 week.
The American League Championship Series on TBS is brought to you by Sprint, the Simply Everything plan, only on the Now Network. And by Applebee's, it's a whole new neighborhood.
Lower third of the order for the Red Sox in what is now a tie game at 1. Matt Garza gave up a hit to the second man he faced in this game and has not given up any hits since. That hit, however, a home run from Pedroia. And he's due up 5th in this 5th inning of play.
Well, he needs to take note of where he is in the Red Sox lineup. After your team ties up the game, take a look around, see where you're at. You're in the bottom third of the order. You need to have a quick inning right now and get your guys back up to the plate.
John Lester surrendered the lead. Now he hopes the lower third can give it right back. And Kotsay late, 2 balls and a strike.
Whenever the Rays have been able to elevate fastballs to Kotsay, they've handled him very effectively. Anything down in the zone, he's been right on.
Didn't get the corner, 3 balls and a strike.
Good ball to strike ratio, 45 balls. Strikes, 25 balls.
And as we mentioned, a power pitcher, lots of strikeouts, lots of pitches. 3-1 count. High and a pop fly. Iwamura at second. Here's Jason Varitek on 9-pitch at bat. Was needed to retire him, looking on strikes in the 2nd inning.
Well, they got him with a big slow curveball after he fought off several good fastballs. We talk about pitch count, which guys are now throwing 71 in game 7 pitches. That's about 40.
Yeah,
spoken like a true manager.
That's well, he threw 116 in 6 innings in Fenway Park.
Varitek grounds the first pitch to Pena. That'll help Garza. 2 out.
The late Johnny Padres was Jim Fragosi's pitching coach in Philadelphia, and he had a great answer when Fragosi would say, "How many pitches does he have?" Padres would say, "Not enough."
Well, that is one of the questions for the Rays in this game. A, who will close, and B, who can get the ball to whomever will close tonight. And so there will be an interesting pitch total for Garza tallied in game 7 of this ALCS.
Well, Chad Bradford and Trevor Miller down in that bullpen, and Miller hasn't been used much, but every time Bradford goes out there, all he does is get people out.
Here's Cora. He flied to left and takes a strike.
I think for Joe Madden, it's going to be more of the old-fashioned kind of managing, where you are watching your pitcher. And the pitch count does mean something, but if Garza's still throwing its good stuff, you're going to want to leave him out there.
There's not a manager in baseball who will tell you that hitters will tell you exactly how tired the pitcher is.
He's got it working now. 0-2. Only John Lester had a lower ERA against the American League Eastern Division than Matt Garza this year. And how fitting is it that they match up in Game 7 tonight? Inning over. 3 up, 3 down, 7 strikeouts, and an easy inning. Momentum in the Rays dugout, and Ibar, Navarro, Baldelli coming up in a tie game. All new episodes of Frank TV starting Tuesday at 11 only on TBS. And Willie Ibar takes a call. Strike mentioned, gentlemen, the inspirational stories of Rocco Baldelli, Josh Hamilton. Got to put John Lester in that category too for this Boston Red Sox team.
Diagnosed with lymphoma and knocked out from baseball season, and he came back, and the Red Sox were very, very careful in making sure he wasn't overexerting himself. And he told Terry Francona, hey, I'm fine, don't worry about me. And Francona called up Lester's parents and said, your son's not going to be too happy with us, but we're going to put a rein on him. And in retrospect, when Lester really got to the point where he was ready to compete again in a major league level, he thanked the way that Terry Francona and John Farrell utilized him so carefully and made sure that they didn't overextend him.
And then coming from the chemotherapy, when he came back, his body has changed. If you look at John 2 or 3 years ago in a Red Sox uniform, he's very thin, but they let him mature his body physically, and that's why he's throwing the ball probably 4 or 5 miles an hour more.
High fly ball down the left field line. That's trouble. That ball is off the base of the wall. Ibar hustling for 2. He just missed a homer. Instead, he's in scoring position with nobody out.
Well, curveball down and in. Not a great swing there by Ibar, but he gets and hits the ball out in front of the plate. Just hooking it down that left field line to the shortest part of the park.
It's amazing he was able to keep this ball fair, because generally when you hook a ball with one hand, it goes into foul territory, but nothing like a leadoff double to start the 5th inning. Remember, Ibar had 5 RBIs in Game 4. Pretty good opportunity against Lester for Navarro to push a bunt up the first base line right now. Well, you can see Joe Madden is thinking about this matchup here with Navarro. He's been a clutch hitter for them all year long. And the on-deck batter is Rocco Baldelli, who has not had any luck at all against John Lester. So you give Navarro the freedom to swing away here.
Well, he's only sacrificed 3 times during the regular season, so it's not something they do a lot of. Navarro's proved so much with runners in scoring position. That's why he's allowed to swing the bat. 214 last year, 314 this year.
And no sacrifices for the Rays in this ALCS. Baldelli waits next. 1-1 game, 2-0 count.
Well, that bench for the Rays that was very quiet last night. Top step in the dugout.
Three balls and a strike. Navarro, a natural right-hand hitter, learned how to switch hit starting at the age of 13. Asked to find a way to move Ibar up 90 feet. Full count.
Well, now with 2 strikes, he really has to focus on a productive out. Thinking to the right side against Lester. It's tough to do when Lester pitches you inside so hard. But with the defense relatively straight away on the infield. Right now you want to make sure at a minimum you advance Ibar from second to third.
Ground ball, deep short. Paul surrounds, has no play. Infield hit.
Oh, nice job by Navarro. Keep staying in this at-bat, fighting in this at-bat. Cora was shading up the middle. Keep the runner close to second, and a nice veteran play there. Knew he could not get the Navarro first. Put it in your back pocket so you don't have an errant throw.
And Willie Ibar went right back to the bag, knowing he had no chance to move up. Take a look at the ground ball in front of you. If he throws it, it's another story, but he stays right there at second base. First and second, nobody out for the Rays.
Here's Baldelli. He took a called third his first time. And a home run cut. Strike 1.
In our pregame meeting with Joe Madden, he talked about Baldelli really struggling against John Lester. But he also said he's got a chance to catch up with one. As he did in Boston, he had a 3-run home run off of Paul Byrd. But Lester has really handcuffed Baldelli.
Swing and a towering fly ball down the left field line. But it's a loud strike, 2.
Well, it's a 3-run home run from Baldelli off Paul Byrd. Little slider in the middle of the plate. Joe Madden has even said that he's starting him against left-hander Lester, but a lot of times he takes better at bats against right-handed pitching.
Well, he didn't get to the big leagues this year until August 26. He's got a lot of rush. The pitch that has caused Baldelli so many problems against Lester has been the breaking ball down and in. And now Veritek's going to go out and put together a game plan. Rocco Baldelli delivers an RBI base hit for left field. Willie Ibar, the baseman, thought he was going to stop at third base, but Tom Foley says, "What are you doing here? Go home." Hesitation at third base by Ibar right there. Kind of slows up, and then Foley gave him the go-ahead, and he scores the go-ahead run.
Well, Tom Foley, the third base coach, knew what he was doing. The outfield's been playing so deep that he knew to send Ibar. Look at Joe Matt say, "Why are you stopping?" Here we go. What a moment for Rocco Baldelli.
And how big are 2-out hits in the postseason?
Baldelli hit him with 2 strikes. It's caused Manny Del Carmen to start throwing in the Red Sox pen. The Rays were 4 for their last 5, hitting with 2 strikes.
A 2-out hit in the 4th inning tied the game. Now 3 straight hits in the 5th, and Bartlett's up with 2 on, still nobody out. and no sign of a bunt.
Now, you don't bunt in this situation because Bartlett's so good against left-handed pitching. And then you got a left-handed batter on deck in Iwamura. So Joe Madden is saying, you know what, Jason, I got a lot of confidence in your ability, especially inside. He's very quick inside, and he's a good hitter to face John Lester in this situation.
And it's not part of Joe Madden and Tampa Bay's game plan. Only 23 sack bunts. That was last in the American League.
No balls, 2 strikes. And that's off the face of the Boston dugout. Now quickly, momentum has shifted. Lester retired the first 9 men in this game. Leadoff man reached in the 4th, a run scored. Leadoff man has reached in this 5th, 1 run has scored. And the 80th pitch of the night strikes out Bartlett for the first out of this 5th inning.
Well, like Rocco Baldelli, who he had an 0-2, he didn't make a good enough pitch. This one down out of the strike zone. When you have a hitter who loves the ball in, you can throw it down and it'll entice them to swing over the top.
Because that's where he's looking. That's where he wants to hit. And if you entice him to start chasing that cutter, he'll swing over the top of it because he thinks it's that fastball.
Iwamura recorded the first Rays hit of this game. He's jammed. And Lester will make the pass to first. Runners move up to 2nd and 3rd.
This is where this lineup is very, very difficult for Terry Francona. He's studying the matchup. Joe Madden has his lineup perfectly situated. Lefty, righty, power. There's a lot of balance here. With the base open, you wonder if Francona will put Upton on. He's been so good against Boston. You got a base open, put him on, but then again, Pena has good numbers against Lester. It's really a rock and a hard place here.
And if you don't walk him, it's Francona trusting Lester's stuff over Upton's abilities.
He's got a lot of confidence in Lester to make a big pitch here.
He's back to the windup with 2 outs. And a drive down the left field line, but well fouled.
Game 3 against John Lester. A.J. Upton got a high fastball, hit it over the Green Monster seats. They are keeping the ball down. They're throwing him a steady diet of breaking pitches.
That was a 3-run homer. He'd love another one here. And that's fisted to short. Cora's got it. And Lester gives up hits to the first 3 men he faces in the 5th inning and nothing else. But the Rays lead in pivotal Game 7. 2-1 is your score in St. Pete.
He was very disappointed when he was dealt from Minnesota, who drafted him #1 out of Fresno State. He and Jason Bartlett came over to Tampa Bay in a deal that included Delman Young. He went to Minnesota. And early on, Matt Guard was kind of hurt by it and wanted to prove the Twins wrong. And that created problems for himself.
You know, I'm definitely hip to that because I was #1 pick of the Texas Rangers. Traded within 3 or 4 months. And you do. You feel like you have to justify the trade. Wait a minute, you just dropped me #1. You don't like me anymore?
Oh, exactly. It hurts when your first team moves you.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Coco Crisp.
Jason Bartlett went through the same thing. He was actually signed originally by the Padres, went to Minnesota in a trade, and when he was traded from Minnesota to Tampa Bay, he felt like he was going to prove the Twins wrong. Tried to hit a home run every swing, and there's the details of the trade that went down late November last year.
From 0-2 to 3-2 now with nobody out in a 1-run game.
What an at-bat here by Coco Crisp. Looked out of the at-bat early in the count.
Little tapper. Underhand flip just in time.
So much for fielding concerns for Matt Garza. This is a tough play. Coco Crisp runs very well. Garza's got to come over to the foul line, and then the underhand shovel inside the base path to Pena. Not an easy play.
It took a little funny hop there too. Stayed with it. Kept that ball in the outside part of the bag.
And Crisp upset as Garza's retired him twice in his first 3 at-bats. Here's Pedroia, a homer and a hit by pitch.
6 leadoff batters in a row retired.
That's the John Lester formula in this postseason too, and it served Garza well here in Game 7.
But the home run by Pedroia on a changeup. Tried to come inside, but it left it up in the strike zone. Deposit in left field. Pedroia has just been, he just does not miss his pitch when he gets it, especially in the postseason.
Since Garza's taken the cotton out of his ears, he hasn't given up a hit.
Well, it's interesting too. You see the first 3 batters, a home run and a walk. The last 16, he's only hit a batter, struck out 7. But had that home run happened early in the year, he might have imploded and been done for the rest of the night. He's a different Matt Garza.
When we talked to Navarro before the game about Garza and his demeanor on the mound, he said there was a very clear telltale sign that would tell you whether he's got his A stuff or he feels he's in trouble.
Yeah, and that's the red flag for Navarro, was that Garza started working too quickly, as if he were rushed. We haven't seen any of that tonight.
Two and two.
Good pitch here, just off the strike zone. Good call by Brian Gorman.
Now Garza facing a man that had the best batting average in baseball with 2 strikes, Dustin Pedroia. Bases are empty, 1 out. 6th inning. And just foul.
See most hitters try to stay back on the ball. He more lunges at it.
Yeah, he almost goes to meet it halfway.
He can't wait long enough.
Well, that's why he's such a good fastball hitter.
Pitches now for Garza tonight. One, 2, and 3 in Terry Francona's lineup up in the 6th. Ortiz waits on deck. Back toward us.
Garza and Navarro really seem to be on the very same page on every pitch, and that really frees a pitcher's mind up when he doesn't have to think about setting up a hitter or theory. He only thinks about execution of the pitch.
Start to get in a beautiful tempo and rhythm.
Pitch after pitch after pitch, spoiled by Pedroia.
Ronnie, how much does it empower a pitcher when you're thinking of a pitch and the catcher calls that pitch?
Oh, it's just, it honestly does. It frees your mind, and you almost get in a telepathic moment, don't you, with your catcher, that you know he's going to call the pitch that you want to call, just because you're on the same page.
Ninth pitch of this sequence is outside. Full count.
Well, the last at bat, Garza pitched Pedroia inside, hit him, has not gone back inside in this at bat. Everything away.
Popped up. Foul ground. No play.
I think that's when a catcher really learns how to call a game. You go into a game with a particular game plan, and then you get into the course of the ball game, second, third at bat, you recognize that you got to change things. They pitched Pedroia inside early on. He hit the high changeup out of the park. They hit him with the next pitch in his next at bat inside, and now he's gone away. So Garza has to trust Navarro that he's making a informed decision to change the pattern midstream and can't panic or question a pitch selection.
And again, Pedroia will put the brakes on Matt Garza. And what an at bat for Pedroia. Talk about collateral damage by an offense in a game in which they have just one hit. The at bat by Varitek and the at bat by Pedroia. 20 pitches by those two men in a one-run game.
And it was almost like Garza and Navarro lost their patience, because at 3-2 with a one-run lead, you might want to really challenge Pedroia there. Throw a fastball, keep it away, because you have this threat. If you do throw the curveball, he does not swing at it and walks. We have Ortiz.
Isn't it amazing how the Rays are almost as equally intimidated by Pedroia as they are by Ortiz, throwing him a 3-2 breaking ball.
Now Garza looks to get the ball on the ground with Ortiz. Again, the shift is on. Ortiz has walked and struck out. And he's late on a 93-mile-an-hour fastball.
Well, Buck, you usually don't see this from David Ortiz, but right now, very vulnerable on that pitch away. Anything away on the corner and down. He's more of a, he's got the middle plate and in is really what he's covering right now.
Yeah, and that's when a pitcher really has the upper hand, because Ortiz is committing his swing before he sees where the ball is.
Ball one high. Ortiz had that 61 at-bat postseason home run streak come to an end in the 7th inning of Game 5. That made it a 7-4 Rays game. Boston won it 8-7 to send this series back to St. Pete.
There's only one spot that Ortiz can get to the fastball. That's down and in, inner half of the plate. And they beat him belt high inside. The ball he hit off Grant Balfour was down inner half, and he the 3-run home run in Game 5. Garza's got the whole outer half of the plate to go to now.
And that's where Navarro sets up with a 1-2 count.
You see Garza hitting his right hip. That's just a reminder not to jump at the pitch. Just throw it. He tried to get too much movement and threw it well off the plate. It's ineffective that far off the plate.
He overthrew it. He was trying to throw it 100 miles an hour.
Ortiz stays alive. That's fisted over near the Red Sox dugout.
Well, with the fastball away, fastball up, those are good pitches. I think if he wants to get him to chase curveball in the dirt, that's a good pitch. That little slider down and in, to me, would be the most dangerous pitch for him to throw.
Absolutely, because it becomes a mediocre fastball at 85 miles an hour if you don't have enough tilt and dip on it to get it down underneath his back.
It's a new paradigm for the Red Sox as they try to complete another improbable 3-1 deficit, win this series, and head to the World Series. 2-2. Full count. Another long at bat. And the next pitch Garza throws will be the 100th in this game.
I wouldn't go in on this 3-2 pitch. Take a look at this fastball moving away. Ortiz now can cheat to a fastball inner half. I would stay with that sinking fastball away. Make him hit it to the opposite field. Don't give him anything on the inner half.
3 full counts to 3 hitters in the 6th.
Better go talk about it. There's some indecision as to where they want to go right now.
There's your fastball in, Buck.
Pedroia leads. Is going. Swing and a miss. Throw to second. Strike him out. Throw him out.
They went inside, got the strikeout upstairs. Navarro throws a strike to nail Pedroia.
This is the internet chick? She wants me to meet her tonight. Pack up.
Ain't it cool news called Sex Drive, a fantastic original comedy.
She's probably a guy.
It's unpredictable, out of this world funny.
He met this chick on the internet.
Internet?
Computers that are connected.
Computers?
100 pitches for Matt Garza in this game. A strike him out, throw him out, double play sends this to the bottom of the 6th inning now. And the Rays looking to extend their 1-run lead in Game 7. And Pena pops it up a mile high. Euclid. 1 pitch, 1 out.
David Ortiz at the plate with the fastball upstairs. He swings right through it. That's ball 4. And then Navarro throws a strike to Jason Bartlett, positioned perfectly in front of the bag to tag out Pedroia.
You know, most of the time you would think, as you see the reaction from Garza, that that's a good play because Big Papa usually takes that pitch for ball 4. He did not, and running Pedroia doesn't allow Euclid to come up with a runner on base.
Well, Evan Longoria with an RBI double in the 4th inning. Remember that early stat we told you about, the bellwether nature of Longoria and this Tampa Bay club this year. When he drives in a run, including postseason, the Tampa Bay Rays are an amazing 41-13. And he hits a mile-high fly ball to left. That one headed towards Jason Bay, and he's got it for out number 2. Very quick work for 2 outs for Lester here.
Love to have those short pitch innings in the middle of the game to stretch out your appearance even deeper. Well,
Carl Crawford, the longest tenured Ray, is 0 for 2. Second-round pick back in 1999. 52nd pick in that draft. Enjoying his first postseason.
A three-sport star out of Houston, and he got recruited by UCLA to play basketball, by the University of Nebraska to play football. Pretty impressive athlete who missed over a month with surgery on a tendon in his right hand. Had 0 at-bats in September.
Driven center field, well struck. Crisp drifting back, got an excellent jump. And a very quick and easy 1-2-3 inning for John Lester as we go to the 7th.
For the price of lunch in a bag, how about a real lunch instead?
With America, think of opportunity. And by Volkswagen Routan, the only minivan in America with German engineering.
Seventh inning of Game 7. Kevin Youkilis will lead it off for the Red Sox. Rays lead it 2-1. Boston has been held to 1 hit tonight by Matt Garza. And with the pitch count now over 100 for the Rays starter, the Tampa Bay bullpen starts to work. Popped up. Iwamura gives way to Bartlett. 1 out, 7th inning.
After ball 1 to Youkilis, Garza turned and looked down to the right field bullpen and saw 2 guys throw it, and it got him a little bit more focused. This is my game, boys.
Trevor Miller's the lefty. Grant Bell for the righty. J.D. Drew 0-4-2. Looks at a ball low.
You can just tell, though, by the way Drew's taking those first pitches. This is going to be a tough matchup for Garza. Drew's swinging the bat as well as he had all season long.
As a catcher in a situation like this, trying to protect a 1-run lead with J.D. Drew, if I'm going to challenge him, it's going to be away. Big part of the diamond. Don't try to get cute and rush something inside. That's where Drew is most dangerous. Keep him to the big part of the field.
He went out there but missed. Ball 3, 3-0 the count.
Upton really shallow in center field. If you're trying to keep him to the big part of the park, he's going to have to use those great athletic skills to run it down. That's about as shallow as I've seen any center fielder play.
Well, that's where Joe Madden wants him. He said, you know what, if a ball's going to be hit hard enough to get into the gap, chances are it's going to be an extra base hit. I want to take away those singles and start rallies.
Paul Blair-like for us old guys.
Very much so.
And 4 straight puts Drew aboard in the 7th inning for Boston. And now the Rays dugout starts to pace. And Jason Bay, the hitter. It's been Bay who has been fooled most by Garza in tonight's game.
And that will be keep Garza in the games, the way he has pitched to Bay. Bay's been in between. He hasn't really, he's a good fastball hitter, he's a good fastball up hitter, but it's almost like he's been sitting on the breaking ball.
Bay with 2 check swing strikeouts in tonight's game. And as you see on the box score, Pedroia the only Boston hit tonight. No balls and a strike.
Boy, that's a good first pitch. That get me over breaking ball. Hitters are geared up for first pitch fastball, and now you've really gotten Bay back on his heels. It's that get me over breaking ball right down the middle. Even though it was a hanger, hitters aren't ready to hit that pitch.
Well, Bay also struck out on 2 fastballs that were by him. So he's trying to turn it up a notch, too.
Jason Bay in Game 1 of the American League Division Series turned around a 1-run game against the Angels with a long home run. And he hits a rope into left field. So the Red Sox have 2 men on with 1 man out. So not a homer for Bay, but it sets up the inning nicely for Boston. And Joe Madden comes out for a chat here in the 7th inning.
Yeah, jogging managers generally, it's more a strategy trip than a pitching change trip, unless he's really made up his mind already. But looks like he's questioning Garza how he feels here. Looked like he said, "You've been awesome, man. You still got something left for me?"
Well, he better. Tried to come in with a fastball. Bay ready for it. Drove that ball to left field. That ball was on the inside corner. It was down, but you start to get into the 7th and 8th inning, not as much as crisp as was earlier in the game.
And now Mark Kotsay, the hitter, he grounded to short, popped out to second. Pop left side, strike 1.
Garza's been doing a good job against Kotsay, crowding him, keeping the ball up in the strike zone. His 2-seamer has been outstanding all game long, but it's the only pitch really that will give him a problem against Kotsay, who likes that ball down.
Kotsay first, then Varitek if Mark doesn't hit into a double play, and that duo has stranded an awful lot of Boston base runners in this American League Championship Series.
The problem you have, even though it's a postseason, even though, you know, it might be your last game, so you're not worried about how many pitches. Pitchers don't go this far. You know, they're not used to going this deep into a game, throwing this many pitches. How do you get out when you're out of gas?
Ball too high.
The question I always used to ask myself managing in these situations, is the guy in the bullpen better than the guy on the mound? And right now Garza's still better.
Fisted shallow right. That's playable for Baldelli. There's the catch. Drew will tag and move up 90 feet. First and third, but 2 out.
Well, the pitch here from Garza again up in the strike zone, a pitch that usually Mark can handle. You can see frustration breaking the bat, and that's what he did, broke that bat on that high fastball.
It's been a series of near misses for Kotsay. And now it'll take a hit from Varitek. Barring a wild pitch, pass ball, error for Boston to tie this game in the 7th.
And we've seen Garza throw a steady dive of breaking balls to Varitek. So J.D. Drew on third base has to be alive. Navarro's been great at blocking that ball, but you never know when one will go awry.
Varitek this year with 2 outs and runners in scoring position, 51 at bats, 8 hits. Fly ball foul for a strike. But all of that was forgiven in the 6th inning here last night. With 2 outs, Varitek homered.
Well, and a 2-0 pitch from James Shields decided to challenge Varitek. Big home run puts the Red Sox up 3-2. They would add on one more run and winning last night's game 4-2.
Hill appealed. Tim McClellan says no strike.
Varitek offering it the breaking ball down in the dirt, checks his swing and keeps it back. Not close. Situation like this, first and third, you just never know on defense whether they might try to steal a run here in the bottom of the order.
Now he's ahead of Varitek. A ball and 2 strikes.
A young man with 115 pitches got to be taking one more good pitch. One pitch can sometimes be elusive.
He got it. Time to stretch at Tropicana Field. Big game. Garza has a lead.
Ground control to Major Tom. Commencing countdown, engines on. Check ignition and may God's love be with you. This is ground control to Major Tom. You've really made the grade.
They're here.
No, honey, they're not here. We forgot to switch to DirecTV. So instead of watching our favorite channels in HD, we're stuck watching cable. Forgetting to switch to DirecTV? Yeah, that's going to come back to haunt me.
Get 3 times more HD channels than cable. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
In a tumultuous time like right now, the most natural instinct is to run for the door, to sell everything. You've got to fight that emotion because you want to be able to hang on for the recovery. Smart investing is about taking it year by year by year. It is a little bit of a nightmare, but we handle those by living through them and looking forward to a better day.
Super new tonight. The biggest season ever of The Girls Next Door continues with their most surprising episode yet.
Oh my God!
We know the girls love Halloween.
Tonight is the big Halloween party at the mansion.
I decided to be a 70s pimp disco girl.
We know the girls love parties.
It is going down.
But even we never expected anything like this. Super new Girls Next Door, tonight at 10, only on E!
What do Subaru drivers love about Portland? The recreation's right here. Lots of places for family fun or just getting it done. And what else? Wentworth Subaru City. 6 acres of selection right in the heart of town. More Foresters, more Outbacks, the new partial zero emission models for cleaner air, plus great values every day. No wonder Portland families keep saying, we went and it was worth it. Wentworth Subaru City, 4 blocks south of the Convention Center.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
The Red Sox just stranded 2 men. Now the Rays up and with the lead, 2-1, 7th inning with Ibar, Navarro, and Baldelli coming up, and Joe Madden and Jim Hickey, but burning up the phone lines to that Rays bullpen.
They have looked at the Red Sox lineup, seeing where they are. 6 outs away from the World Series. Ramos said Garza's going back out. Dan Wheeler moving around, stirring around. Joe Madden checking with his bench coach, Dave Martinez. They're talking things over with the pitching coach. Lots of conversations going on. How are you going to finish this game?
And that a product of the different nature of these two bullpens of the Rays and the Red Sox. You know who finishes the game for Boston. That's Jonathan Papelbon. You don't know who finishes the game for the Rays.
Scott Kazmir is down in the bullpen, sitting next to J.P. Howe.
Well, it's interesting. Cora's going to lead off for the Red Sox. Does Ellsbury hit in that place? Ellsbury with good numbers against Garza.
But riding an 0 for 20. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Ibar, who doubled in the 5th inning. That led off that frame. And Ibar came home on the Rocco Baldelli hit to put the Rays in front.
And just remember that inning. Ibar slowed down at third, but Tom Foley, third base coach, sent him. Despite that, backward to Lester, they would have been out of the inning and not scored a run.
And you can't blame the Red Sox defense for playing deep. They've had their backs against the walls no matter where they have played because of the home runs from Tampa Bay.
Good patience by Ibar, who's been an unsung hero in this series.
Very interesting. When you watch John Lester and Garza both having great games, that ball right off the corner, missing the strike zone. Lester gets a lot of called strikes, Garza a lot of swinging strikes.
Swing and a drive, deep left. That ball is long gone.
Second home run for Willie Ibar in the division in his championship series. Tremendous extension from Ibar. Takes Lester deep yet again in this series. Tampa Bay has lived with the home run.
Ibar, who played such an important part for this team when Longoria was on the disabled list. Now big at bats in October.
Is it in postseason that an unsung hero rises to the forefront? Perhaps Willie Ibar will be that man. He has scored 2 of the Rays' runs tonight. He has hit the 16th home run for this Rays attack in this series. And now a little more breathing room for Joe Madden and his bullpen. 3-1 your score.
Well, this is a pitch that plagued Lester in his first start at Fenway. It's a cutter that's supposed to be in. It spins right in the middle of the plate. Nice job, though, covering that ball by Ibar. A long home run.
Well, this didn't come out of nowhere. As you can see, Longoria's reaction. Another teammate goes deep. But Ibar had 4 hits and 5 RBIs in Game 4 against Boston at Fenway.
One ball, 2 strikes. Navarro drives one to right center field. J.D. Drew has it, and there's out number 1. John Lester has never lost consecutive starts in his career. He trails by 2 runs in the 7th inning in a winner-take-all matchup in this American League Championship Series.
There are 50 ball players on this field tonight, and not a one of them thinks this game's over yet.
Yeah, Boston can come back from 7 runs down. And the Rays, a club that have played so many come from behind ball games this year. You're right, Buck. Long way to go. A cue shot by Baldelli. Strike 1 to him. Baldelli out of Woonsocket, Rhode Island. First round pick in the 2000 draft by Tampa Bay. A young man who in the early stages of his major league career was compared to Joe DiMaggio.
All I have to do is look at his number.
Baldelli with 2 aboard drives in a run with a single in left field in that 5th inning. That would put the Rays ahead 2-1 at that point. Big smile from Baldelli, who grew up in New England and certainly a Red Sox fan, breaking the hearts of many Red Sox fans themselves.
And Lester strikes him out. Veritek will make the throw to first. 2 outs after the Ibar homer. So 8 strikeouts for Lester in the game. Matt Garza has struck out 9 in this game.
Matt Garza has ended every inning with a strikeout. That's how strong he has finished his innings.
Both pens busy with the bases clear and Bartlett up 0 for 2. Strike 1 to the Rays shortstop, Jason Bartlett. With a team that has so many terrific young stars, so many young fireballing pitchers, it's this man that Joe Madden has said is his indispensable player. Not only with what he's done at the plate, but Buck and Ron, 273 fewer runs allowed by this Rays pitching staff this year over last.
Well, you build winning teams around pitching and defense, and that's exactly what they had on their mind when they picked up Matt Garza and Jason Bartlett. Shortstop had been a big void for them, and they needed somebody to pick up the ball. Then you can get a starting pitcher the caliber of Matt Garza to fill out the rotation. And those address 2 major concerns of this ball club in one trade.
High pop fly into center field. Coco Crisp has a little trouble. Now picks up the ball. And he makes the play. A homer by Willie Ibar leads off for 7. 6 outs stand between the Rays and the World Series.
You can be frank.
Stay frank. It's crazy. Something's wrong with you.
Or too frank.
Word of advice, unbutton that top button. Let those things breathe.
Frank.
You're fired.
6 outs left for the Red Sox as they try to complete the impossible comeback here in St. Petersburg. Defensive change. Gabe Gross now into play right field with Cora, Crisp, and Pedroia coming up. Matt Garza back out after 116 pitches and 9 strikeouts. His career high is 11. His high for this year is 10. And a bunt try is fouled back by Cora.
If you're Matt Garza right now, all you want to do is check off outs. Literally one batter at a time. Just focus on Cora right here. Keep him from getting on base.
Ground ball in between hop. And will the Rays defense cost them dearly late? The door is open in the 8th inning.
Defense was so good at the start of this postseason. 7 straight airless games. And now the 6th air in 32 2/3 innings.
A classic case of letting the ball play him. For Bartlett, that ball will slow down a little bit in that field turf, and then as soon as it hits the dirt, speed up, and it beat him.
And so Garza figured he had it out. And now Joe Madden is going to take him out. Garza allowed 2 hits to the defending world champions in a decisive Game 7. He leaves with the lead and a tip of the cap.
They're here.
No, honey, they're not here.
Boston still very much alive. They bring the potential tying run to the plate against Dan Wheeler, who's on in relief of Matt Garza. Ronnie Garza was terrific.
Well, he ended every inning with a strikeout, and he did it in a lot of variety of ways. Curveballs in the dirt, first fastballs upstairs, 3-2 curveballs to one to Veritek. Had all of his pitches working, throwing them all for strikes. A lot of funny swings for the Red Sox, and that's what happens when you only give up 1 run in your 7 innings of work.
So Garza departs. Wheeler is on, and he was one of many Tampa Bay heroes in Game 2 of this ALCS. 3 1/3 innings covering 48 pitches. That was the 9-8-11 inning win that evened up this series at a game apiece before we headed to Fenway Park.
Are you going to have the Dan Wheeler from Game 2 or the Dan Wheeler from Game 5 where he struggled, gave up 3 runs in an inning in the 3rd?
So Coco Crisp stands in and takes the ball low. Crisp against Wheeler is 2 for 3, but 0 for 3 tonight. What is that feeling like as a starter who takes the game deep in a close and decisive game, and the bullpen is on?
And you feel horrible. You want to stay out there because the ground ball should have been an out. You leave on an error. It's a horrible feeling sitting there, and you don't have any control anymore, and you left the base runner out there.
This is what you work so hard to have, home field advantage. 3-1 Rays, 2-0 count, 1 on, none out.
I think the Red Sox have to be very patient, though. Wheeler's the kind of guy, even 2-0, he will try to pitch the peripheral of the strike zone, not always throw it right down the middle.
Slicing foul, no play, 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, he's not overpowering. He doesn't have one particular pitch that's most effective for him. He has to use a combination of pitches, location, changing speeds, throwing breaking balls and splitters. So he is never going to be one to just pound the middle of the plate. He can't do that. He has to make quality pitches, and he also needs his defense to help him out.
Crisp, a fast runner. Might be a tough man to double up. Cora's at first. with nobody out.
These are the scenarios pitching coaches and managers pour over during the course of the day. Terry Francona talked about his choices, and Joe Madden and Jim Hickey have met over these situations all day long. What if? What if? 8th inning, 2-run lead, Crisp at the plate. We don't want Garza to face him late in the game.
Bunt attempt. 2-2.
Well, Crisp had a good pitch to bunt, too. He was upset, got a little bit ahead of himself, and didn't wait for the ball to get to home. Watch how his body is gone before that ball gets there, and he just jabbed at it, and he was disappointed. He had a good pitch to bunt.
Ground ball, base hit. Cora will stop at second. 2 are on with nobody out. You give the Red Sox life, they take the life away from you.
Well, sometimes what happens is that as a pitcher, a pitch of your repertoire is taken away. That was a split finger from Wheeler. And when you throw a split finger to a left-hand hitter down and in, where's he going to hit the ball? Right between the hole. That's where the out is going to be, or that's where they're going to attack. If Payne is off the base, maybe he makes that play. With him holding Cora on, that becomes a base hit.
Where Crisp has had a good series.
9 for 19, and now here's Pedroia, the only man to touch the plate tonight, but has not yet picked up a hit against Wheeler in his career.
Notice a lot of times see the pitcher trying to slow it down. Make sure he's doing what he needs to do between the pitches. Pedroia, the hitter, slowing everything down.
He's been on base 3 times tonight. And takes a strike.
Well, Pedroia knows that he only needs 1 pitch to hit in this scenario. And he has already gained that much confidence, just his 2nd full season in the big leagues. Remember, he's the best 2-strike hitter in baseball, so he is confident he can take pitches and still have a chance to put it in play, even if he falls behind with 2 strikes. He's waiting for 1 good one to hit against a guy he's never figured out.
High fly ball. He got under it. There's the first big out in the 8th.
Well, it seems like it's always going to be laid at the doorstep with David Ortiz, isn't it? Fastball away. That's middle of the plate. Wheeler got away with one there. Pedroia just swinging up, popping that pitch. Just missed that pitch.
So Joe Madden makes his way to the mound. Pedroia. It's a towering fly ball to left. And that'll do it for Wheeler. He departs. A lefty-lefty matchup coming up in the 8th inning. Game on the bases for Boston.
Susan first came to us with a problem booking vacations. She'd be 1 click away when her fear that the price would drop left her paralyzed. So we started her treatment with Orbit's Price Assurance.
1 out. J.P. Howell is on to face David Ortiz. But remember, guys, Game 5, that 7-run deficit for Boston, they overcame it in the final 3 innings.
Well, a 2-strike hit by Pedroia got it started. 3-run home run by Ortiz, and then J.D. Drew with the game winner after a 2-run home run. Coco Crisp had the hit in the 8th inning to tie it, and Drew line drive over the head of Gabe Gross and right. Euclid scores the winning run. Pedroia just missed that last pitch he got. It was a pitch that he's hit out of the ballpark throughout this postseason. Got underneath it.
And remember, Drew's hit was against Howell, who's coming into the game. And Ortiz had a big RBI hit in yesterday's ball game off J.B. Howell. His bullpen has been such a strength for the Rays all season. Can they cash in one more time?
In their first 8 postseason games, the Rays bullpen allowed just 4 earned runs in 24 2/3 innings. Game 5, a disaster. 8 earned runs allowed. And they rallied in Game 6 without giving up a run. But Ortiz, as we told you, 10 game-winning RBI in the postseason. Tied for first all time.
Normal depth in the outfield, but I might step back a bit because the tying runs at first base, and Coco Crisp runs very well.
And remember, it's Gabe Gross in right, not Baldelli, with Ortiz up. He's walked once, struck out swinging twice. Strike 1. Ortiz lifetime against Howell, 2 for 13. That's a 154 career batting average. But one of those hits, a home run. Where do you go? 0-2.
He's not overpowered. 88-mile-an-hour fastball, but because he has that big breaking ball, Ortiz has to be a little bit more deliberate in his approach. You can elevate a fastball away. You can throw the breaking ball. He's got a great changeup. And Howell will throw his changeup to left-handed hitters. It's that good. That's his best fastball. Up and away, 88.
And that pitch right there, really not to be. It's great if he swings and misses, but really to elevate, change where he's throwing the ball, throwing upstairs and then come back down.
Howell had maybe the best quote to describe this Rays team in 2008. We're at our best when things look the worst. They led this series 3-1. The Red Sox have evened it. And the count now 2-2. Kevin Euclid waits on deck. And that almost picked off Kevin Euclid.
Just got a piece of that breaking ball away as Ortiz extended, took that top hand down. Now Navarro out to talk to Howell, give him a pitch. Bartlett needs to know for his positioning, and he will return to second base.
Again, he stays alive.
Keeping that curve just far enough away from Ortiz.
All he can do is spoil it. He has to take his top hand off to put the bat on the ball. Just barely gets a piece of it. Boy, now you would think that up and away fastball would be a good pitch for him, and you might get a lazy fly ball to center. We haven't seen Ortiz drive anything to the opposite field.
Ground ball right side. They'll go to second. Close play and in time. Two out.
Boy, that's a big play because that represents the tying run. You go to second base and you wipe out Coco Crisp. You're not going to get two on this bouncing ball, but Iwamura understands the situation, pivots and throws a strike to Bartlett. Boy, that was close.
Boy, if Coco could have went straight in instead of that slide that really is taking out the shortstop, straight in, would have been close.
Howell gets Ortiz to roll out.
If
First
he goes
to third.
For the bag, he might beat the throw, but he never went for the bag. He went for the infielder instead of trying to get to the base before the throw.
So Boston down to its final 8th inning out. Howell gets the high five and protects the 3-1 lead.
Can you believe we still call these phones, considering all they can do? Truth is, technology's only great when you know how to use it. I'm Dan Hesse, CEO of Sprint. First, we revolutionized
Position to make the call, but had he gone straight for the bag, he might have beaten that throw. That wasn't the ball that you were going to turn to, even with Ortiz running.
And now David stands at first, Cora at third, and Chad Bradford is on to try to retire Euclid and send this to the bottom of the 8th inning.
Well, Bradford's been outstanding against these Boston Red Sox, but Bradford is one of those guys that's in the game because he usually keeps the ball in the ballpark. Only gave up 3 home runs all season long, 2 with Baltimore and 1 here with Tampa Bay.
The one he gave up with Baltimore was the 500th career home run of Manny Ramirez. Manny sent a bat over to get Bradford to autograph it. He reluctantly did. And then later on, Ramirez was retired by Bradford in Bradford's 500th appearance in the big leagues. He got an autograph as well.
Quid pro quo.
Fair is fair. So here's Euclid. 4 for 10 against Bradford. Outfield now very deep. Look at where Upton is. He's played as shallow as center field as we've seen this postseason. Gross a step shy of the track in right. 1 ball, no strikes.
Joe Madden is concerned about this matchup because Euclid, Bay, and Pedroia have all had great approaches against Bradford. He expects them to put it in play. He just hopes it's at an infielder.
Inside, ball 2.
Well, with this 2-0 count, your problem is your DH is on first base. Can't pinch run for him. So if Euclid hits a double, a little more difficult for David Ortiz to score.
Now, a lot of people would question, why wouldn't you pinch run for him? He represents the tying run. Well, if you go into extra innings, you want his bat in the lineup.
Ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes from the 4th pitcher of this inning for Joe Madden and the Rays.
The left-hander is David Price, the #1 pick in last June's draft, 2007. He is getting ready for J.D. Drew if he comes to the plate here in the 8th.
And a strike to Euclid. The inning started with an error Off the bat of Alex Cora. Bartlett misplayed it in between hop. Then a single, a fly out, and a force play. First and third, 2 out.
Ball 4 there, Buck. The sinker from Bradford. In and down.
But now you figure Ortiz can run 3-2. And if Euclid could split a gap, maybe the Red Sox could tie it. He goes. Ball 4. Appeal to first. They're loaded. So Bradford walks Euclid to load the bases.
Oh, nice job by Euclid taking that fastball way in off the plate.
Wheeler, Howell, Bradford have all followed Garza.
What do you want as your reward?
I want to take all my ladies out to a really nice dinner. Hey! My daddy's going to sit right between them.
Hello, hello. Chase Freedom introduces rewards points you can use like cash to get anything you want.
I want a new house. For Rufus. Oh, Rufus, what kind of house would suit you?
With the Chase Freedom credit card, use your points to get any item, any place. Freedom matters. Chase what matters.
The stage is set for J.D. Drew. Bases loaded for Boston in the 8th inning, but there are 2 outs.
Well, J.D. Drew always comes up big. This is the grand slam he hit in Game 6 against the Indians last season. And then Frankie Rodriguez this year, the 2-run pinch hit home run at the top of the 9th. Then he had the 2-run home run and then the eventual walk-off single off J.P. Howell in the bottom of the 9th versus the Rays.
Both of his home runs during the 2008 postseason and 5 of his 6 RBIs have come in the 8th or 9th inning. He's a guy that doesn't get too excited about anything. Just trying to figure out young David Price. He has faced him. Price was the winner in Game 2. The irony of that is he won a postseason game before he won a regular season game in the big leagues.
What a spot to put this young man.
He made his debut in the major leagues on September 14th at none other than Yankee Stadium in relief of Edwin Jackson. Came in and pitched 5 1/3, allowed just 3 hits and 2 runs and struck out 4. He made 1 start this year against Baltimore. Big time fastball slider, 95 and up.
So from Vanderbilt University to the ALCS and trying to send it to the bottom of the 8th. And that's a very good start.
First pitch slider. pretty good cheese at 96 with 2 strikes.
Number 1 pick in the first round in the 2007 June draft. 12-1 in his minor league career. Strike 3. Coverage on TBS presented by Kia Motors. What a job by David Price. He strikes out J.D. Drew with the bases loaded to send it to the bottom of the 8th inning and protects a 2-run Rays lead. Akinori Iwamura takes the ball 2-0.
Well, good fastball from Price. Down and away. You can see J.D. Drew went a little too far with that swing. As home plate umpire Brian Gorman made the call.
Iwamura picked up the first hit of this game for Tampa Bay. John Lester started, retired the first 9 in a row. Gave up a 2-out double to Evan Longoria in the 4th inning. That tied the game. A leadoff double to Willie Ibar in the 5th. He came home on a Baldelli hit. And then the Ibar 7th inning homer leading off that frame has kept the Tampa Bay scoring. And a roller hit up the middle. Pedroia has to unload quickly, and he does. Good play, 1 out. So how about that Rays bullpen? Wheeler, Howell, Bradford, and Price all pitch. Do not allow a run. And now Hideki Okajima on for Boston, and he's been part of a 3-headed monster late for Terry Francona.
And he sure has. You talk about the epitome of a bullpen by committee for Tampa Bay. All hands on deck, but Okajima, Masterson, and Papelbon have been nearly perfect for Terry Francona. Perfect might not push them to the World Series.
Here's Upton. He strokes the first pitch into shallow center field. Long run, Chris coming on and makes a sliding catch.
I don't know if you can say any more about the job that Okajima has done for these Boston Red Sox.
Coming into the postseason, they weren't really sure how much they were going to get from him because he had been somewhat inconsistent, but boy, has he stepped it up.
2 innings in game 5, 2 innings from yesterday's ball game, and again on here for another inning.
Boston had a great shot in the 8th. Now Pena's up 0-4-3, but he has scored a run. And I think we know who's going to come out for the 9th inning just by looking down the right field line here at Tropicana Field.
Yeah, there might be a mutiny if anybody but David Price went out to start the 9th. Got a chance to get a win and a save in the postseason before he picks up either in the regular season.
A high strike evens or makes it 0-2, I beg your pardon, to Pena. The most wins the Rays have ever had before this year was 70. They won 97 in the regular season. They beat the White Sox in the first round of this 2008 postseason. They need 3 outs to dethrone the Red Sox. That's strike 3 called to Pena. 3 up, 3 down, 3 outs. All that stands between the Rays and an American League championship.
Introducing Taco Bell's new 89-cent Volcano Taco. With spicy lava sauce, it could be the spiciest taco ever.
Wait, my Volcano Taco. Don't look at me.
Visit SteelABaseSteelATaco.com. Think outside the bun.
The company that's brought America stylishly affordable vehicles has now made it even easier. Now you can get $5,000 cash back on the Kia Sedona minivan and the Kia Sorento midsize SUV. Both come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty and a 5-star crash safety rating. That's 2 incredible vehicles, 1 incredible deal. With $5,000 cash back, how can you afford not to?
What's this? The new BlackBerry? You've seen BlackBerries before. It's no big deal. Maybe one quick peek, just to see what all the fuss is about. Whoa.
All right. I got Eve, Socket, Devil, Rabbit.
I'll be right out. Let's do this.
I got dibs on Socket.
I'm almost there. All right, you ready? Let's go. Wow. How you doing? I'm Adam.
Hi, Adam. I'm Eve. This is too weird.
What are the odds?
Totally random.
They've got a little captain in them. Got a little captain in you.
Drink responsibly.
Small business savings on airfare. Automatic. Small business savings on car rental. Automatic. Small business savings on hotel. Automatic. Making it look easy. Priceless. Register your MasterCard business card at EasySavings.com.
They live in our minds, like unforgettable moments should. It's what October is all about.
We'll see you tomorrow night.
You gotta watch it, because there's always another jaw-dropping moment that happens each fall. There's only one postseason. There's only one fall classic. There's only one October.
We head to the 9th inning. The Tampa Bay Rays are 3 outs from their first World Series appearance, and the improbable dream indeed. David Price will face Bay, Kotze, and Veritek. The Tampa pen is busy. The Tampa Bay bullpen is busy with Grant Balfour. And a first pitch strike.
David Price did not throw a pitch in pro ball until May 22nd. Made his debut at Vero Beach.
One ball, one strike. In postseason history, the biggest deficit overcome in the 9th inning to win a Game 7 is 2 runs. In the 1992 National League Championship Series, the Braves trailed 2-0. They won 3-2, and that was against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Bay stays alive. He is 1 for 3 in tonight's game.
One thing you can count on in that Rays dugout, there'll be no early celebrations.
I think they've learned that lesson, yes.
That's hard to tell right there.
That's a swing.
It is. Cross his hands. Break for the Red Sox.
Joe Madden referred to David Price as their new toy. He joined the team mid-September. He was put on the postseason roster because of an injury. You can replace player for player, even though the player hasn't been with your team, as long as you have an injury.
Ball 4. And Bay coaxes a walk, and the tying run potentially to the plate with nobody out. Now Kotze, the hitter. Kotze 0 for 3. Flied out his last time and broke his bat in frustration. Can Kotze be a Red Sox hero?
I think this will be the last hitter for David Price. Lefty against lefty.
A bunt attempt. Boston needs base runners. Strike one.
Put your players in the best possible position to succeed. One more batter, Kotze, for Price.
Two. It's 1-2. Garza started, went 7, struck out 9, allowed 1 run, 2 hits. Wheeler, Howell, Bradford, and Price have followed. It's 2-2.
How do you lay off this pitch? 95, just off the corner. Eyeballed by Mark Kotze.
That one over the outside corner.
Nice job by the young Mr. Price. Facing the left-handed Kotze. His pitch sequence. First pitch strike with a slider. Another slider down and away to get ahead. One up in the strike zone that changes eye angle. Just missed outside and then painted that outside corner.
The Rays 2 outs away from the World Series. Here's Veritek. Batting right-handed now 0 for 3.
Joe Madden's going to leave Price in right here.
One ball, no strikes. Veritek grounded into 13 double plays in the regular season. A step or 2 slower from the right side if Price can get the ball on the ground.
Joe Madden has said that he felt like Balfour was not as animated as he usually is, and that he was just a little bit short of what he's been during the regular season.
Veritek 1 for 19 at the plate in this series. 2.
Got a pitch to hit there. Just a tiny bit late maybe by Jason. Out over the plate. Big breath by David Price.
Went with the slider, and that ball had a lot of depth to it, boy. He threw it hard. Veritek out in front, swings over the top of it.
He knows his math.
And Jed Lowry, the final hope for Boston in the ninth.
Lowry produced all season, 260 at-bats, 25 home runs, 46 RBIs, but only 2 home runs.
Ground ball to second. Iwamura's got it. Rays are going to the World Series. From 9 equals 8 to 9 equals 2. Joe Madden and his Tampa Bay Rays will face the Phillies in the World Series.
David Price gets the final out on a wicket hop to Iwamura. Picks up his first save in the big leagues. Iwamura made the out, and everybody on this roster contributing to this effort.
Boy, what an effort today. Price with a win and a save before a regular season win or save. Congratulations to Joe Madden and his staff. Great job by Price. And don't forget Matt Garza. 2 wins in this ALCS, both against John Lester. Only 2 runs given up in 13 innings.
The young team that just would not give up in 2008. Maybe they arrived a year ahead of schedule, but from worst to first and on into the Fall Classic, and bedlam at Tropicana Field.
Well, one thing about this team is everybody on this team feels they're a major part of it, and that's a credit to Joe Madden, the skipper. He told them in March, this is a special team. We can play with anybody. Don't sell yourself short. And now they have proven that the game on October 19th is just the same as March 15th.
They beat the Red Sox by 2 games in the regular season. They beat them by 2 runs in the decisive Game 7 of the American League Championship Series. And downstairs we go to Craig Sager.
Well, BJ, your manager said you guys could play with anybody, but you took on the defending World Series champion Boston Red Sox. You set the tone from the beginning. They couldn't get you out. How surprised and how does it feel right now when you look around here and you see that you're going to the World Series?
You know, it's unbelievable. We battled a lot of adversity this year. Everybody stuck together as a team and did our little part. Everyone did their little part. And here we are right now going to the World Series.
Down the stretch, you had problems, injuries, you lost the power in your swing. How did you suddenly regain it to hit 7 postseason home runs and 4 here in the American League Championship Series?
I have to thank the training staff. They've done everything to keep me on the field and keep me as healthy as possible. So hats off to them. They kept me out here pretty much all year and kept his shoulder, you know, as good as it can be, and it helped me out this postseason.
Well, we talked about offense with you, but that's only half the story. Your defense in center field, they said when Boston wins with defense, it's tradition. When Tampa Bay wins with defense, it's a Cinderella story. Tropicana Field, it's a castle. How does the slipper feel?
You know, Joe said at the beginning of the year, our defense has to be our best asset. And we built it on that. We thrived off that all year. Took pride in it, and it worked out for us.
Well, thanks a lot. What a pitching duel this was. Pitching from the start. Matt Garza was sensational. The bullpen came in, put out the rally in the 8th. What were you possibly thinking throughout the game and when you got the call?
I mean, I wanted the ball. I mean, I think everybody down there in that pen, including Kazmir, wanted the ball tonight. I mean, this is the biggest night in Rays history. It's just an unbelievable feeling to be a part of it.
Biggest night in Rays history. When did you feel like you were part of this team?
As soon as I got here. I mean, these guys embraced me when I got here. They made me feel like I belonged. I mean, I just felt comfortable the first day I stepped in the locker room.
But coming in with the bases loaded, they have the tying runs on base, the go-ahead run. You had the big strikeout to J.D. Drew. Go over that pitch sequence and tell us what you got him out with.
Oh, I mean, I started him with 2 sliders. He took the first one and then swung through the second one. And then 0-2, I kind of wasted the fastball down and away. And then strike 3 was the fastball down and away. I guess he check swung. So I didn't think it was a strike, but everybody told me he check swung.
You said you wanted the ball. There's no doubt that your coach and manager, Joe Madden, was going to let you out there in the 9th inning. What was the reaction from your teammates when you got those final outs?
Unbelievable. I mean, that's just, you're so happy out here. I think everybody shed a couple of tears. I mean, I was on the bottom of the dog pile. I couldn't breathe, and it was, I mean, I wouldn't trade that moment right there for anything.
A lot more exciting than playing at Vanderbilt?
A lot more exciting.
Congratulations. Back to you, Jim.
All right, Craig, thank you very much indeed. The Rays are series bound. They will host the Philadelphia Phillies here Wednesday night in what should be a tremendous World Series. The Rays can fly the flag after 10 years of futility in St. Petersburg, Florida. They're champions of the American League tonight. And Boston's incredible attempt at another 3-1 series deficit falls 2 runs shy. They had their shot in the 8th, but could not push across anything after the first inning of play tonight. Our American League Championship Series coverage on TBS has been presented by Kia Motors. What a night for the Rays, for baseball, and notice maybe served in the American League East, boys. The Rays are off and running. 3-1 your final score. Back after a break.
They say children are our future. I think it's actually evil robots that are our future. I had a dream about that one time.
All new episodes of the late-night sketch comedy Frank TV, starting Tuesday night at 11.
Only on TBS. Very funny. That's what this is all about, guys.
The American League Championship Series on TBS is brought to you by Chase Freedom. Introducing rewards points you can use like cash. Visit chase.com/freedom. By Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. By BlackBerry. Connect to everything you love in life with BlackBerry. And by G2, the new low-calorie hydrator from Gatorade.
We welcome you to our Inside MLB presented by Captain Morgan post-game show. The Tampa Bay Rays are American League champions. They beat the Red Sox in Game 7, 3-1 tonight's final score as we check in again with Craig Sager.
Hey, thanks, Chip. I'm with Kyle Crawford, the longest tenured Ray in club history. 6 years as starting left fielder on opening day. Nobody has suffered through the losses more than you have. 9 equals 8. Now 9 equals 2. You're in the World Series. How do you put this season in words?
Oh, it's amazing. That's all you can say. To come to where we come from and get to this point, it's amazing. And, you know, the guys just worked so hard to get to this point.
You had a finger injury, didn't play in September. Questionable whether you'd have the ability to play in this postseason. How tough was that for you down the stretch, and what does this mean to you now?
Oh, it means a lot to us. You know, like you said, I didn't know if I'd be playing, so I tried my hard to get back. And when I was able to get back, I was able to contribute. And we just love what's going on with the team right now.
Well, enjoy the celebration.
All right.
Back to you, Chip.
All right, Craig, thank you very much. Ready to present some hardware at Tropicana Field. And for that, let's send it to Ernie Johnson, standing downstairs on the podium behind second base at Tropicana Field. Ernie?
All right. Hello, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson with TBS. And we do have some hardware to hand out because the Tampa Bay Rays are going to the World Series. On the podium, we have the manager of the Rays, Joe Madden. The Executive Vice President of Baseball Operations, Andrew Friedman. President Matt Silverman. And the owner of the Tampa Bay Rays, Stu Sternberg. And to do the honors, the Honorary American League President, Mrs. Jackie Autry, to present the William Harridge AL Championship Trophy.
Congratulations to St. Petersburg and Tampa Bay. Your Rays are the American League champions for 2008. I'm very proud to present this to ownership and to Andrew and Stu and Matt and especially Joe Madden, a dear friend of the Autry family. And I'm very proud to have known him, and I'm glad that he was able to help us bring a championship in 2002 to Anaheim. Stuart, Joe, Matt, Andrew, congratulations.
Hey, Stu, I know that your first vivid memory of baseball came watching Sandy Koufax pitch, but I'm thinking that there's a new event at the top of the list in terms of baseball memories for you.
Tonight might have done it. It certainly wiped out what happened Thursday night in Boston and made this all the sweeter. For our fans here in Tampa Bay, all the support we've gotten, and obviously the fans all across the nation, it shows that anything is possible because we really took something from worst to first.
Stu, congratulations. Let me talk to your partner, Matt. Matt, a self-described mediocre second baseman growing up who got a ball strike indicator at the end of the season. How's this compare, an AL championship trophy?
Well, there's nothing comparable at all. This is unbelievable. This is for Tampa Bay, and this is a story that America can relate to. It is unbelievable. and we have 4 more wins to go, but we're going to celebrate tonight.
Indeed you should. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Andrew. Hey. Huh?
Send us for dry cleaning.
How's that Matt Garza trade working out for you?
Matty was absolutely phenomenal tonight. What he did in Fenway as well was special, and you know, the game tonight was going to be dictated by the starting pitchers, and Lester was very good tonight, but Garza was phenomenal.
How gratifying is it for you to look out and see the contributions of the guys you went out and got, such as Garza, such as Bartlett? Willie Ibar goes deep tonight.
Yeah, I tell you, one of the special things about this is that every department in baseball operations has a hand in this, whether it's international, free agent scouting, pro scouting, or player development. Everybody has their fingerprints on the composition of this roster, and it's special for everybody.
Andrew, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, number 70, it's your turn.
Yes, sir. How about that Tampa Bay?
All right. 9 equals 8. 9 equals 4.
How about not equaling 1 right now? That'd be kind of nice. Hey, listen, thank you all for your support. We cannot do it without you. You guys have been fantastic. We felt you all the time. A couple more days, come on back out and get us to be 9 equaling 1, the new math.
You go up now. You go up against the Philadelphia Phillies. Hazleton is about 97 miles from Philadelphia. You're going to be able to go to the third base cafe up there?
I'm going to miss that, but there's going to be a lot of good food coming down for the tickets. They have to bring food in exchange for tickets.
Hey, you got to thank Scott Kazmir, don't you, in part for this? Because you know what? He was the winning pitcher in the All-Star game. You got home field advantage.
Exactly. We were watching that game that night. Jay and I were down at a hotel in Naples, checked it out. Thank you, Kaz. Nice going, boys.
Joe, congratulations.
Thanks, guys, and thank you, everybody. It's awesome. Thank you.
We're not done yet. The Lee McPhail Jr. ALCS MVP trophy. Again, Mrs. Autry will do the honors, and I think you know who's getting this.
Matt Garza will receive the Lee McPhail Most Valuable Player Award for going 2-0 in the series with a 1.38 ERA. He gave up 6 walks, 8 hits, and 14 strikeouts. Matt, congratulations.
Matt Garza, in your wildest dreams, did you picture this night when the season began?
You know, as a kid, I think everybody pictures this night. You know, usually it's a Game 7 of the World Series, but shoot, I'll take the Game 7 of the ALCS anytime.
How did this team hold together in the face of what had gone on in Game 5 and then losing Game 6 and all the momentum and all that talk?
The same way we played all year, and that's believe in one another and just keep coming out and fighting. You know, keep fighting till the end of 9. And we fought to the end of 9 tonight, and you guys see what happens.
Let me ask you one more thing. We had a shot of you before the game started tonight, and you had, I don't know, what was on the iPod tonight?
Just all kind of rap music. You know, I'm a big fan of Tupac, so that's all I can say.
Matt, congratulations on the MVP and on going to the World Series. Well done.
Thank you.
There are your Tampa Bay Rays, the American League champions, headed to the World Series.
Great job, Ernie Johnson downstairs. Matt Garza and the Rays celebrate the hardware tonight. And the Tampa Bay Ball Club dethroned one of the classiest acts in baseball. The Boston Red Sox, the defending world champions, beaten 4-3 tonight. And the happy ending for the Rays means a sad ending for Terry Francona and his Red Sox. A tremendous year for them. And Terry Francona standing by with our own Tom Verducci.
Thank you. Terry Francona, let's start with Matt Garza and the job that he did. 7 innings, he gave you only 2 hits. What problems did he present for your lineup?
Well, he was phenomenal. He velocity,
got past, got in on our left-hand hitters, breaking ball, slider, curveball. He gave us fits. Besides Petey hitting that home run early, he gave us nothing after that.
Then late in the game, Terry, you had the tying runs either on base or at the plate against the Tampa Bay bullpen. Did you think you had it set up, and were you surprised to see someone like David Price, no career saves, 14 innings, closing out a Game 7?
Yeah, again, I think it showed how much both bullpens were used. But the kid came in and he pitched great. They were in a bind. We had the guys up we wanted. We had men on. We had our chances, and he threw the ball very, very well.
Now for the season, 95 wins. You had the historic comeback in Game 5. This franchise competed 4th time in 6 years for an American League pennant. What perspective will you take away on your 2008 Red Sox?
It's hard to have a real good perspective tonight, and we're so disappointed. You leave everything out there, and it's hard. It hurts everybody. But when it's all said and done, this will diminish in no way how proud we are of that group in there. That was a fun group. That was an enjoyable group to be with, and that'll never go away.
Thank you, Terry. Back to you.
Tom, thank you very much. Terry Francona is always a class act. First time that the Red Sox have lost in ALCS elimination games. Now 9-1, 3-1 was tonight's final score. It's amazing when you look at this Rays franchise. 10 years, 645 wins, 972 losses before their breakthrough season this year. Do you get the sense that perhaps the numbers are going to start to reverse now for this young Rays club in the East?
Well, absolutely. They have all that young talent on the field, and also we saw all that young talent that's pitching. Garza started tonight, ended by Price, who's going to probably have a shot at the rotation next year. Not even a shot. He'll be in that rotation. So, yeah, they have great young pitching. Their defense is fine. Great everyday players with some pop, as we've seen. So they're going to be here. This joy that they have could only come from the misery that they've had before.
Yeah, when you lose together for so long, and then the joy of winning is really that much sweeter. The thing about this organization, not only did Joe Madden turn things around in 2006, he changed the culture here in Tampa Bay. He told them losing is unacceptable. The only thing you do in professional sports is you play for championships, and he's got a chance to play for a championship right now in his 3rd season.
Which leads us to our next question. Up next, the Philadelphia Phillies. The Rays will have the home field for that. Game 1 will be Wednesday night. Our friends at Fox will have that. Rays and Phillies analyze that World Series for us now.
Well, the Phillies are a strong team, and they're a team that's poised after last season exiting after the 1st round. They're poised to go on and maybe get some hardware themselves. That being said, this is a young and hungry team, and they now have gone through the Red Sox. They went through the Red Sox and the Yankees during the regular season. I don't think they're afraid of anything. So it'll be interesting to see how it works out. Philadelphia's bullpen has been unbelievable in the postseason, and Cole Hamels, who's the MVP, is going to start Game 1.
Well, when you play in the American League East, you become very hardened, and you understand how difficult it is to play in the grind of that tough division, maybe the best in baseball. I think these two teams are very evenly matched. A lot of athletes on the field. They have speed, they have defense, they have home run power, and I think it will be a very good World Series. I think they're very perfectly matched up to play along in a very entertaining World Series.
Well, many fans want to know, to whom do you compare these Rays? The 91 Braves, the 69 Mets, the 89 Cubs. They are a creation of their own making, and they're headed to the World Series. Our final score tonight, Rays 3, Red Sox 1. For Buck Martinez, Ron Darling, Craig Sager, and our entire crew, Chip Terry saying good night from Tropicana Field. And congratulations to the Tampa Bay Rays, the 2008 American League champions. Ron, Buck, thank you so much for a wonderful 2008. After a break, Ernie Johnson will be back to Bedlam in St. Pete.
Yeah! I spend so much energy just getting to the final game, and I thought the Red Sox were going to run out. Plus, I thought the Magic would take over in here.
You know, you never know when somebody's going to pitch the game of his life, and I think Garza pitched the game of his life. They went with him, and you said that too. Hooray for you. Meanwhile, they went with him as long as they could. I thought they would have went 9 if he had to.
This guy's a little bitter. This guy's a little bitter.
Congratulations.
That was a hard
Everybody
spell.
wants to take credit for this. This is ridiculous. Let them take credit.
I love it. You know what was great about this game is you wondered what Joe Madden was going to do with his bullpen. I know John Madden's not throwing football this week, but you're wondering what Joe Madden might do with his bullpen because they were depleted. And here comes David Price out of nowhere.
No one predicted that. Did you predict that one?
I did.
Ernie had that one. Heck, get with
I got nothing. I got crickets.
But he was the 5th of 5 pitchers used in the 8th inning, and in a dramatic 8th inning. And let's take a look at the highlights of this thing. Game 7. And we'll look at David Price's performance here before we go to the full game highlights.
The kid didn't look nervous a lick. I mean, he comes out bases drunk with Drew up there and punches him out. I think he swung. It was a check swing. It might have been outside.
Tell you what, those are pitches that are very difficult to hit. Right there, he threw Varitek everything he had in the kitchen sink. But right here, the ground ball, before it even got there, he celebrates now. It was a bad hop, almost took the second base's lips off.
You've got to give that kid a lot of credit. You really do.
He has electric stuff, and he has closer stuff. And
What a rookie year for Evan Longoria. Hard to believe all this stuff happens in 1 year. You get to a team that finished last year. Now you're going to the World Series. How do you put in words?
I don't know. You don't, I guess. You know, everybody picked us to finish last, like you said, and we just kept plugging along and believing in ourselves, and I guess belief and trust in one another, and the guys who are in your clubhouse get you this far.
An RBI tonight, another victory. This team 42-13. When you drive in a run, you seem to be the benchmark for this team. As a rookie, how are you able to come up with these clinch situations and perform?
You know what? I mean, it sounds so cliche, but I really just try to keep it simple and take it at bat by at bat. I got a good pitch to hit in the first at bat, just kind of rolled over on it, so I knew I was feeling good in the box. And if I feel that way the first at bat, I have something to build off of. So that's what I try to do every day. And made a good pitch on me. I just kind of flicked it out there and it fell in the corner.
Your first major league manager, Joe Madden, calls you together in spring training. He says 9 = 8. What did you think then, and what do you think about 9 = 8 now?
I think we thought he was crazy. You know, it was a spring training talk at 9 a.m. in the morning, and it really doesn't sink in what it means until, you know, I go home and kind of sit down and think about it for the next couple days. And heck, it's gotten us this far. You know, now we're jumping around and they're saying 9 = 8.
Congratulations, 9 = 2 now.
9 = 1 now, Craig.
All right, thanks.
All right.
All right, Matt Garza's night. And now here's a guy, remember in the American League Division Series, lost a game to the White Sox, really took the blame on himself because he had a lead, couldn't hold it. But against the Boston Red Sox, he wins 2 games of the 4, and he's the MVP of the ALCS at the age of 24.
You know, he couldn't have come up any bigger. You talk about giving up a home run in the first inning. That could, you know, make a pitcher scuffle right from the get-go, but he didn't. He held himself together, everything in check, and he pitched his heart out. Everybody knew he had gas, but he featured a hook here and there. I mean, everybody's taking that. They can't do anything about that hook when he's got that kind of gas. But he was pounding the strike zone all night. He really was, and I think he was just absolutely overpowering. Busting left-handers in with that high fastball. He struck out Ortiz a couple times on high fastballs. Yeah. I mean, this guy came up huge, and so he's an emotional guy. I'll go with an emotional guy anytime.
Sure you would. No, not you.
I'm telling you.
You know what I like is that he took on Lester, who coming into this series I thought was the best pitcher in all of baseball. Lester was on a roll. He beat him twice. And you know, you saw the game that John Lester pitched tonight. He had to better that to give his team a chance. Plus, he knew he didn't have a bullpen. They were going to have to mix and match. It was phenomenal what he was able to pull off.
He was a pitcher tonight. He wasn't a thrower. I mean, before he comes in there throwing really hard, he controlled his stuff, had a great breaking ball. I don't know if we have the one highlight of Cora's at bat. But certainly when he came in, he threw 3 quality pitches there. All of them were taken. Here it is coming up. I think he starts them off with a fastball. Takes that. He was taken all the way. Didn't know what the seat of speed was. And here comes a hook. Uh-oh.
Hello.
And now he's going, what am I going to get? 0-2. I've seen the fastball, the curveball, and a nasty sort of slider. See you later. 3 pitches, 3 outs. Didn't even swing the bat.
That sums it up. Hello. That was
excellent. 116 pitches. 116 pitches tonight. Also threw 116 when he beat John Lester in Game 3. And he's the ALCS MVP. Back with more here on Inside MLB, presented by Captain Morgan in just a second. Worst record in baseball those years, and now celebrating an American League title here in St. Pete.
TBS invites you to a very funny festival where you can see the biggest names in comedy at Caesars Palace, Las Vegas, including Jerry Seinfeld. Ellen DeGeneres presents Ellen's Even Bigger, Really Big Show. Jeff Dunham, Dane Cook, Cat Williams, David Allen Greene, and Kids in the Hall. Laugh-A-Palooza, hosted by Tracy Morgan. A celebrity roast of Cheech and Chong.
Job done. The Red Sox do not come back from another 3-1 or even 3-0 deficit to get to the World Series. And Garza is the second youngest player to win the ALCS MVP and the youngest pitcher to win it. If you have power arms and you can strike people out and you can hit home runs, you can get to the World Series, and that's what this is about for the Rays. Garza, he strikes out 9, and of course the home run by Ibar, 16 in all, and the Rays and their skipper are going to the World Series.
Coming into it, the organization lacked any kind of tradition. There was no winning, obviously. It was only the first 10 years in existence. I thought it is just the beginning, and we're trying to establish the future for the entire organization. To get it done this quickly is kind of amazing.
I really can't explain it. I mean, a lot of people can't explain it. I'm sure nobody picked us to go to the World Series, and you know what, here we are, just doing it one pitch at a time like we've been the whole time. And for me to be in this situation, I mean, I really can't believe it.
We've been like this all year. We even, we told ourselves that, people have been down on us from day one. People were happy when we got our 71st win. People were excited when we got our 81st win, saying, you guys secured the 500 mark. We still kept going. People kept saying, you guys are going to falter in August, September. You guys are going to falter in September. You guys are going to falter when you face Chicago. You guys, you guys don't match a ball against Boston in Boston. We proved ours wrong this entire time. We just told each other, keep believing, keep fighting, keep playing the way we played all year.
World Series Game 1 on Wednesday. The Rays aren't the first expansion team to reach the Fall Classic in their first trip to the postseason. The Miracle Mets of 1969 went on to beat the heavily favored Orioles in the World Series. 1984 Padres beat the Cubs in the NLCS. Steve Garvey led the Padres to their first postseason appearance, and again, they beat the Cubs in the decisive 5th game. They lost to the Tigers in the World Series. 1997, another Florida team reaches the World Series in its first trip to the postseason. The Marlins knock off the Braves in 6. They went on to beat the Indians in 7 to win the World Series. And now the other Florida team, the Rays, knock off the defending champions to advance to the World Baldelli. And the man with Peter Gammons, Captain America, Evan Longoria.
Ever just talk about that against John Lester when he drove the ball in the right field corner?
You know what? I knew from pitch 1 Lester had some pretty good stuff. I mean, his ball had a lot of late life, more than it did in his last start. And, it was a good pitch. I just, I kind of threw my tail out and hit it the other way, and fortunately it stayed fair.
Now, what's it like now? I mean, you've only been professional baseball a couple of years. To have this happen?
No, you know what? I really can't explain it. I mean, a lot of people can't explain it. I'm sure nobody picked us to go to the World Series, and you know what? Here we are, just doing it one pitch at a time like we've been the whole time. And for me to be in this situation, I mean, I really can't believe it.
What about your team? It just seemed in this series as if you guys never seemed rattled, even when you had that 7-0 lead disappear.
That's how we've been all year, and I know a lot of people haven't had a chance to watch us very much, but, these last couple of series and coming down the wire when we had a lot of TV games and big games, people got to see how we play one pitch at a time and really know how to focus in the big spots, and Garza, God, what a job he did tonight.
Evan, congratulations, and thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, history lesson time, March 31st,